complete college basketball's greatest rebound and rebuild with a championship.
If you're going to war and I'm coaching, I'm taking these guys.
Baylor, kings of college basketball, #1 in the land, and the trophy is coming to Waco.
Baylor, one of the great turnarounds in college athletics history, national champions in year 18 for Scott Drew.
Our fans that have been with us for the lean years, the good years, and our administration, President Livingstone, Mac Rhodes, they all deserve this. The city of Waco deserves this. Hey, Texas, we got a national championship too. The state deserves it.
Did I stutter?
He has time, launches it to the end zone. Touchdown! Terrence Williams!
But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
The 2011 winner of the Heisman Trophy is Robert Griffin III, RG3!
Welcome to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Langoliers, base hit to center, and the Baylor Bears win their first Big 12 tournament championship.
Their fat little girlfriends are telling them what they want to hear, which is how great you are.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Call us on the Impact Health Labs caller line at 254-339-1122.
Hello? You play to win the game.
Yep, just ready for OU.
You can't handle the truth.
Here's Drake Toll.
And welcome into the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. Happy Monday, everybody. Starting your week off right. I'm Drake Toll alongside J.D. PicKell. We got Armstrong Sims, Marquise Cooley, and Hayden Bumpus joining us today.
Full house.
It's a full house.
Full house.
It's a live studio audience at this point, basically. And a big Monday coming off of a big weekend in Baylor sports. Happy late Mother's Day to all the moms that watch the show. How about the old Baylor baseball team this weekend? I didn't see that coming. Did you see that coming?
Did not see that coming. Bats got cracked. I think Andrew Robertson was there, but they got it going. They got it going, man. Was it like Andy Thomas hit like, what, 3 home runs in the series?
43.
Jeez.
I think it was combined runs that Baylor put up over the course of the weekend this weekend compared to Kansas State that did not put up 43 combined runs. They put up like 15, which is good in its own right. In a 3-game series, it's not bad. It's not bad. But Baylor baseball, 17 runs yesterday in the 5th inning alone, smashing every record, a 36-year-old record. Baylor baseball said, hey, that was great. We're going to go ahead and take over that.
They were dominant. I think they had 17 runs in 1 inning, didn't they?
17 runs.
They were unbelievable. So, I mean, for them to be playing how well they are right now, after a 10-day break, too, they had 10 days of rest, and it was not rust, emphatically making a statement at home against Kansas State. And also, it should be noted, the game they lost on Saturday, it was 3-3 going into the 9th inning. They allowed 7 runs in the 9th inning, which obviously is not awesome, but I mean, they were very competitive in that game too. So, I mean, I'm excited if I'm a Baylor baseball fan right now.
Yeah, freshman starting pitcher that went out and threw on Saturday because you're missing. Granted, they won the series this weekend without their best pitcher. Tyler Thomas did not throw. Do what we can only assume. I don't want to speculate too much, but COVID-19 issues were plaguing the team over the course of this last week or so. So one can infer that was likely where you had him. Hopefully he comes back, but even still, 17-2 on Friday. You lose 10-3 on Saturday. Your freshman Cam Cayley comes out and throws a gem through 6 innings. Your relief pitching falls apart and can't hold it together. Sunday rubber match, you say we got to make a statement. You put up 23 total runs, 17 runs in the 5th inning. Kansas State had to leave. They had to say, we can't play the rest of this game because we have to catch a flight in Dallas and we can't change it. They had to end the game in the 7th inning because the 5th inning alone took over an hour.
Talk about making a statement. And it's very fitting for us. We talked about mercy rule on Friday. The mercy rule was very much in play on Sunday. So, I mean, it's exciting, man. It's exciting the way this Baylor team is trending. They won their last 4 Big 12 series. They're effectively rolling right now, even with COVID. It's like, COVID, no problem. We're going to keep rolling, no problem. 40-some-odd runs.
Jared McKenzie is currently batting .387 this season. Andy Thomas is batting .350. Those two guys are team leaders. They are up there in the conference as well. Jared McKenzie's got 70 hits this season. He's on some national leaderboards. Andy Thomas now to double-digit home runs. McKenzie behind him with 8. This team is... Andy Thomas has 53 RBI. This is stupid.
Unbelievable. I mean, they were 3-11 over the weekend.
They weren't supposed to be good.
3-11 as a team?
They weren't supposed to be good.
Not even just 1 or 2 guys. Yeah, what were they? After Rio Grande Valley, everyone said, pack it up. Pack it up. This team can't do it. Can't do it. Pack it up. A few weeks later, it looks like they got some ball they're playing.
They started 2-5, 2-4,
Something
2-4,
like
2-5.
that,
I mean, they lost a series to UT Rio Grande Valley, and now here they are, Baylor baseball. 254-339-1122. In other news over the weekend, the Baylor men's tennis team, they're still dancing. They knocked off it's not community college, CC. It's A&M Corpus Christi. They knocked off Corpus Christi.
Yeah.
They got them on Saturday. Then Sunday rolls around. They face off against Oregon. They swept Corpus Christi. They said, "Oh, we'll do you one better. We just got a new head coach for the Baylor men's tennis.
Yes, sir.
Why not go ahead and just sweep game 2 against Oregon, number 37 team in the country?" And that's exactly what they did.
Took that interim label off Coach Woodson too. That was the secret sauce.
And a new head coach.
They said, "Hey, brand shiny new head coach."
They're
that
hot
was
right
the
now.
same coach. They're so hot. They're one of the best in the country. I'm excited that we're talking about them. I hope Baylor fans, the casual Baylor fans, will start to give more and more due to this tennis program because they do things the right way. They have a phenomenal coach who comes on here all the time. They're fun to watch too. We got to go to a match earlier in the indoor season, and I mean, we didn't know what was going on, but it was exciting. It was cool to be there.
Yeah. 254-339-1122. Phone lines are open. Big weekend across Baylor athletics. Outside of that, you also had a really good weekend for women's tennis up until they met Duke. So women's tennis got a win on Friday or Saturday against another one of the it's the CC. It's not community college.
Corpus Christi.
Corpus Christi. Texas A&M Corpus Christi. They got a win against them. Then they fell to Duke. They fell to Duke 4-3, tight match. They won't move on to Orlando to the national final to compete in the Sweet 16, but a great season for Joey Scrivano and his team. The best season they've seen in the last 6 years.
I mean, both tennis programs are really strong. I mean, if you're a tennis recruit, whether it's international or somewhere in the United States.
What's my name? I'm a tennis recruit. What's my name?
Drake Toll.
Nice.
Drake Toll.
That's
you should come play for Baylor because there's a lot of good things going on, and this coaching staff. Who else would you want to play for in the country?
No. I love Michael Woodson.
I love
Joey
him.
Scrivano's a stud. So we'll actually be joined later in the show today by Izak Merwe. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Izak Merwe joins the show later on today at 1 o'clock. 12:30, we got Hayden Kettler, the Baylor baseball team, who threw a gem this past weekend. And then Max Garner, former Baylor pitcher who was Big 12, first team All Big 12, on that 2012 team that ended up going to the Super Regional, 1 out away from going to the College World Series until they were knocked off by the University of Arkansas. Max joins the show later today, too. Got a loaded show for you. Also, we want to get to, outside of all that, and Steven, I see you in there. So all that unpacked from this weekend. Those are the teams that were in action this weekend. Softball, baseball, men's and women's tennis. 8 o'clock on Mother's Day comes around. I'm just sitting in my car, tootling along to church because it's 8 o'clock on a Mother's Day. And I see on my phone that Kim Mulkey has released a statement to Baylor Nation. Mind you, again, strange timing in general. Like, happy Memorial Day, it's 2 p.m., I'm going to send an apology to the place I was at for 2 decades. That's weird in general, but you can't be mad at that. It's just it's quirky, but who cares what day it was, good morning, happy Christmas.
Yes.
Also, I'm moving. Yeah, it was I'm
pulling it up here, so I'm listening.
Right.
I was pulling up the statement.
All that put together, I think the timing of it's weird in general of what it feels like to me. So I want to read this for you guys. And Armstrong, maybe you have this. It's on Mulkey's Twitter. I thought it was very interestingly worded. Someone brought up the point she doesn't mention Baylor. Really, she doesn't thank Baylor once. She thanks Waco. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your support of the past 21 years. Mostly because of you, making the decision to leave Waco was not an easy one. So this is to the fans. This is to Baylor fans. When I came to campus in 2000, no one ever dreamed we'd accomplish so much. That's true. We sold out games. She's not lying. We landed the best recruits. She's on the money with this one.
Yeah.
We built one of the most loyal fan bases in the country. We laughed at tip-off luncheons and cried as we hoisted trophies in the air. What a ride it's been. Together, we made history in women's basketball. Together, we clinched 23 Big 12 titles, regular season and tournament. Together, we brought home 3 national championships. Also, the font on this, as you can see on the screen right now, is just atrocious. Small. Together, we saw 100% of our Lady Bears graduate later this month. I'll go into the Naismith Hall of Fame, slight flex, because of the dedication and commitment of players and fans during my career at Baylor. While this next road in life may take us in different directions. What a way to word that.
Yeah.
While this next road in life may take us in different directions, the Lady Bear basketball program is what it is because of you, the fans, and it will forever be a large part of who I am. Thank you for your unwavering support and memories that will last a lifetime. Much love, Kim Mulkey.
While this next road in life may take us different directions that I have effectively taken a hard right turn on and chosen the direction that I'm going to be taking, but it just so happens to take us different directions, this whole thing felt like a very big flex to me. Like, the entire thing wasn't so much a thank you as much of it was like, hey, this is what I did at Baylor. I bet you're going to miss me. I'm going to miss Baylor mostly because of you, which really felt like a backhanded comment to the administration. Like, hey, I'm not going to miss Baylor because of what Mac Rhodes did for me. I'm not going to miss Baylor because of our strong athletic program and the other great coaches involved.
Or my $2.3 million.
Yeah, like
I'm not going to miss that.
She just shouted herself out the entire time. So while this thing just feels, like you said, kind of weird, part of me is also like, this is very on brand for Kim Mulkey. Like, I when I read it, I was like, this is weird, but that's about right for the par for the course to what I expected with a goodbye. I don't even know if you can call it a thank you, a shout out to the fans, I guess, but felt very much like a lackluster sort of gesture to me.
Bye, my lover. Bye, my friend. You have been the one. You have been the one. You have been the one for me. That's all I could think just reading the entire thing. It was like it's very much someone wrote. It's like when your parents say, oh, you forgot to write a thank you card, and then you just kind of whip something up like, it's how I would have thanked my mom if I was 8. It's like when your mom does, like, okay, you do the dishes, and for that, your mom gets you a new bike for doing your chores for 10 years. And then you already get an allowance.
For 10 years.
You already get $2.3 million of an allowance for doing the dishes. But then one day your mom's like, thank you. I just want to thank you for doing the dishes. Here's a bike. And then you write your mom a thank you note. It's like, Mom, I have been a great son. I have always been a great son. I have done so many things as your son, and I love you for that. Sincerely, your son.
This choice have been great mostly because of you. It's kind of what she said.
Yeah.
This is mostly because of y'all is why I'm going to miss Baylor.
Yeah.
The whole thing felt weird.
But also, look at all the stuff that's been done.
Yeah, look at what I've done.
Bye-bye. Yeah, it's the timing. The timing's so weird for me. I feel we buried this hatchet. Nikki Collins the coach now. Baylor's got a new head coach. Kim Mulkey is thank you. You're a legit. Thank you. You're a legend. Goodbye.
Yes.
End of story.
This is why I'm curious to see, one, how many Baylor fans even knew this was a thing. Like, the attention has very much shifted away from Kim Mulkey in Waco. At least it should shift away. I don't know how many Baylor fans are upset about this, but that's kind of where I get into the conversation of, did this matter? Was this literally just to check it off the list and say, okay, at least I said my thank you. No one can say I didn't say thank you. But I mean, as a Baylor fan, do you care? Like, is this something that moves the needle for you? Is this something that you're like upset about? Do you have any emotion towards it?
This is we don't care.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this is. I think for the majority of Baylor Nation, again, it's thank you for what you've done. I like, hey, seriously, you built this. That's very sweet of you. But also, we have moved on.
Yeah.
Everybody has completely moved on. This is, if I am in this situation, and I know I don't want to, it's weird to say this, but if I really have that love and affinity for a place and a people, then I'm so torn leaving that I want to do it then. Not like stir this up 2 weeks later and like, hey, I've been gone for a while. Just want to let you know I'm thinking about you. I put your picture away.
Dun, dun, dun.
Sat down and cried. It's over.
Yeah, it's done. I think a lot of this, and this is maybe too much of a conspiracy theory, I think this was a letter to Mac Rhodes. I think this was a flex at Mac Rhodes. I don't think this had much to do with the fans at all. I don't think she really is that tied to the fans. I think this was, Mac Rhodes, you're going to miss me. Mac Rhodes, this is what I did. You're going to miss me. Here's all the things that I did. And aren't you sad that you let me get away? Because these fans love me. And I hope that you recognize this.
And by the way, we sold out games.
You sold out games. Yeah, Mac Rhodes, you sold out games. I built this athletic program that you now care about.
Yeah, like, we won a bunch of games. Again, it is like thanks for the bike and everything, but also I did the dishes.
Yes.
Like I did the dishes, and so know that without me, the dishes aren't going to get done.
No shot.
Thanks for this, but you need me more than I need you.
Yes.
Deuces, blouses. Blouses. I saw that, I read it, and I thought, seriously? Number one, happy Mother's Day. It's 8 a.m. on Mother's Day. Number two, why now? And there are people out there, and then they make a great point. It's like, everybody, you asked for an apology, or you asked for a goodbye, and I don't know. If
we asked for an apology weeks ago.
Yeah.
Not an apology. We wanted to thank you
closure.
Weeks ago.
You wanted closure weeks ago, and instead it's like, hey, I know you've already gotten closure in the form of your new head coach, but please don't get too much closure. I still exist.
Yeah, it's like, why is your ex still texting you after you've already gone and found another significant other? Like, we broke up a while ago. If you need if this is for you, Kim Mulkey, that you need closure about Baylor, if you need to feel better about the situation, if you somehow need to tie some ends there, like, that's great for you. I don't know why, but Baylor has clearly moved on. Nobody really is talking about you outside of this show because we've all moved on. We're all excited about Nikki Collins. So this felt like a way to just shift herself back into the limelight. And I really do think it was a jab at Mac Rose, just to kind of just stick his face in it a little bit.
So we got Steven on the phone lines here. We're going to get to him in a second. T-Town Cruz says, what Kim could have done to... okay. I think, what do you say? What could Kim have done to make it perfect with the goodbye statement?
Ooh.
I think probably a week ago.
A week ago.
Yeah, where you're like, hey, this just happened and is wholly relevant, and I know that a lot of Baylor Nation is sad. This is a move for me to go home, and I love you. Thank you for all that you've done for me. Adieu. Au revoir.
I think to make it perfect, I don't know if you can make it perfect like you said.
There's not something goodbye perfect.
There's no way to make it perfect. A good start would be to not mention all of her accomplishments. Like, her going into the Naismith Hall of Fame has absolutely nothing to do with her Baylor career or what she's going to do at LSU or her leaving Baylor.
Well, it has to do with her Baylor career.
Yes, okay, I'll backtrack.
But it has nothing to do with Baylor fans.
Nothing to do with her leaving Baylor. Like, there's no need for her to, like, there's never been a goodbye to say, there's never been a good goodbye, I should say, where you mention all of your accolades and the fact that you're going to the Hall of Fame. Like, that has absolutely nothing to do. I think I would even border on the sense that this is kind of like a lower, I think this is beneath Kim Mulkey. I do. I think it's on brand, but I think it's beneath Kim Mulkey, a coach who is one of the best to ever do it in women's college basketball. She doesn't need to flex on Baylor. She doesn't need to flex on Baylor.
I know, but that's a tough statement.
I think it is.
That it's beneath someone to apologize.
She didn't apologize.
That's a great point. It's beneath someone to say goodbye. Saying goodbye is fine. I think to make it perfect at this point, say that you get like 2 weeks in and it's like, all right, now how do I make the goodbye perfect? You wait till the Naismith Hall of Fame induction. And you get up there and the first thing you say is, I have gone home and I went home for my mom and I went home to save a state. But I love you, Baylor fans. I love you, Baylor. I will always love you. And I think that's exactly what you do. Then you break out in a song and dance, which Kim Mulkey has done plenty of times. I've seen it in press conferences. She sang Everything That Glitters Is Not Gold in the first press conference I was ever in with Kim Mulkey. And it just makes me think that with this, it could have been done so much in such a different way that is so much more meaningful and sincere. And I get it. It's like you're the guy complaining because somebody apologized. Just accept it, or somebody said goodbye. Yeah, but this just doesn't really seem like a real oh yeah, my heart will go on, goodbye. I love you.
It's the sentiment. And the farther away we got from it, the more personal I feel like it needed to be.
Yeah.
Like, if she had released a statement resembling this, we still would have torn apart the fact that she just hyped herself up for however many pages or however many words this was. But I think it would have played a lot better, like you said, if it was closer to her leaving Baylor. Now I'm expecting her to be more personal, give a on-camera thank you at the Naismith Hall of Fame. Like, that would make more sense to me, and that would be more fitting. As a whole, this just feels very tacky, and I really do. For a coach of her stature doesn't need to tell me all the things she's done. Kim Mulkey, we know you're good. We're thankful for what you've done. But you don't need to tell me that you're going to the Hall of Fame. You don't need to tell me we sold out games to land the best recruits. Also, all of those you're basically taking credit for, saying we landed the best recruits. No, Kim Mulkey, you landed the best recruits. And you know that's what you're implying here. Like, none of this is slick. This is not a slick operation you're pulling off here.
It is you're right. It's your ex-girlfriend that texts you and is like, hey, I just want you to know I'm thinking about you, and that when we were together, you were at your best.
You've made me so much better.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah. It's the we were like, I have a girlfriend now. Why are you texting me? I don't care anymore. This is pointless. Like, you don't even respond to that text.
Because you blocked the number.
You blocked the number.
That's why you blocked the number. Somebody commented, thanks, but no thanks.
Somebody on Twitter was like, yeah, this reminded me I really needed to unfollow Kim Mulkey on social media.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah.
Everybody's over it.
Yeah.
Chapter, book, closed. Bye.
It's like, it's not relevant to us anymore.
No.
Like, thank you for your thank you, but it's like Baylor fans were not thinking, wow, I hope today's the day.
I hope
you think today she does it? You think she says thank you today to all of us? I hope so.
I say, damn it, I gave money to that program every year. They won 23 Big 12 championships because of me, 3 national championships. They got the best recruits and sold it out because of me.
We got a comment here that says, when you have 3 trips, you deserve an ego.
I don't think you ever
agree or disagree.
What does Nick say? I don't think Nick Saban Nick Saban will not walk into the athletic department at Alabama and say, name the football stadium after me.
And he could. He could
He
do that.
How much of an ego do you get? Bill Belichick wears a cut-off hoodie. He looks like he's homeless. 90% of the things that Bill Belichick wears, he looks like he's homeless. What is the ego of Bill Belichick? Yeah, you can have an ego to an extent. Like if you're a boxer, if you're Muhammad Ali or Conor McGregor or Floyd Money Mayweather, that sure, have an ego. Who gives a rip? How about Scott Drew? You think if Scott Drew wins his third, at that point he gets up the mic and says, I'm the best to ever do it.
Name this place after me.
Yeah,
this is now Scott Drew University.
Yeah.
SDU.
This is Drew University.
Everyone's like, oh, God.
The guy's got a point. He's won 3 national championships, so
and also
carries the
Baylor
one.
basketball would
ego.
make a lot of money because of that. Like women's basketball lost money for the athletic program every single year, which is a whole other rabbit hole, whole other tangent. And I know there's a lot to unpack there.
That's a whole of rabbits.
But I think we need to credit that Kim Mulkey should act. I shouldn't say should. I want to be careful. I think there is a danger with acting more expensive than your program is allowing you to be. Maybe that's a hot take. Maybe that's getting too into the weeds. But I think there's something that should be noted for if she was bringing in tens of millions of dollars every year, then maybe it's more of a conversation. Maybe they are naming the court after her. Maybe that is goal. Maybe she does get to pick where the stadium goes.
I would tattoo that on my left bicep.
I'll get it with you.
I would tattoo that on my left bicep. How about this? We've got Steven from Virginia. Steven, you held on there for a while, man. Thanks for doing that. What's going on? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, guys. Big weekend for Baylor sports, huh?
Big one.
Big weekend for our mercy rule debate.
Yeah, there was ain't no rest for the wicked. No mercy this weekend for the old Wildcats of Kansas State.
Yeah, and I was sitting there and I felt like I was so passionate about how we needed no mercy rule, and I was watching that and I was kind of like, if you're a Kansas State player right now, are you really enjoying this that much? And I worried that somebody might get hurt, and that's kind of how I am with my adult league. When if it's out of hand, we don't need to keep doing this when everybody's getting hurt.
Has he changed his mind to mercy? Now he's giving mercy. Now Steven's giving mercy.
I think after I've seen it in context, I have to apologize to Drake. I think Kansas State deserved that mercy there because, if they hadn't stopped that might have been 50-3. Yeah. I was really, which I would have loved to see, but on a Sunday when you're going home and going back to Kansas to your dorm so that your friends can say 50-3 in baseball, huh?
There was a point where Kansas State brought a pitcher in who had a 1.06 ERA, and I was like, okay, this guy's good. And he's thrown 9 innings and had 7 innings, had 9 strikeouts, 2 walks. Okay. And I was like, why is this guy not thrown more? Didn't record an out.
Got shelved.
All right, he's been playing against East Texas Baptist. That's why he's doing what he just did. They may be good at baseball too. That was just random. Yeah. What else you got for us there, Steven?
I was going to talk a little bit about this Kim Mulkey letter. I really agree with a lot of what both of y'all said, and I'm going to be honest. This letter was completely on brand for Coach Mulkey. And, if she had released this any of the days that we had before Nikki Collin was introduced, I probably wouldn't have been that mad.
True. But I think it would have made sense.
Nikki Collin was literally introduced Wednesday, and then here we are on Sunday, and Kim Mulkey needs the attention of Baylor Nation back on her. You went to LSU. You wanted to be with Coach O. You wanted to go home and eat your gumbo and rip off your mask in the press conference. Go. I understand. We got our new coach. We're excited over here, and as excited as you can be when you look at the history of what great women's programs have done without their coaches. We're excited over here, and I was really excited about Coach Nikki Collin, and I loved every bit of that press conference. And here's Coach Mulkey coming back. Got to make it about me. I still got to have Waco being all talking about Kim Mulkey right now. And I love Coach Mulkey, and I don't want to use the short platform I get to say anything bad about her. But it's exactly like the girlfriend thing that y'all are talking about. You wanted to do something else. You wanted to go somewhere else.
Yeah, you broke up with me. Why are you texting me hey, together we were so much better? You broke up with me. Why are you texting me this?
Yeah.
I just can't. I can't be here for that. Like, and it's you know, if Bobby Knight, you know, gets fired from Indiana, goes to Texas Tech, and then says Indiana really loved y'all, hated the administration, it's the exact same thing. And I know she's not Bobby Knight, but it's just so hard not to make that comparison when you watch the way it goes. And I love Coach Mulkey. I love Kramer. Kramer plays for the Cardinals.
I love Kramer.
But, like, it really hurts me, man. It really hurts me that it's like we are all excited. Coach Collins throwing out the first pitch at the softball game, and all of Baylor Nation is really excited about the hire because I think even the people who were disappointed felt better after watching the press conference. And it's like, but we still got to talk about Coach Mulkey.
Was this beneath Kim Mulkey?
This, I really think it's kind of on brand if we're really talking about what Coach Mulkey is about. I hate to say that, you know, I honestly think when I say that, it sounds more shady than what you're saying, because I read this statement and it's like 100%. We're going to talk about what I did while we're here, and you know, and I'm going to mention that I wouldn't be where I was without Baylor, but like, and that's why I'm making the Naismith Hall of Fame. But when Michael Jordan introduces her, and like after he gives her speech, what's he going to say? And now the head coach at Louisiana State University, Kim Mulkey. So, like, go on.
Yeah. Steven, Bear Games question of the day today. This one revolves a little bit around what happened in baseball yesterday. That is, what is the worst sports defeat that you have ever experienced, whether it be as a player or as a fan? Just demoralizing.
We were playing in high school. We made the state. It was like the championship game. It was either the Final Four or the championship.
How do you
game.
not remember? I was in high school a while back. We were either in the championship or like the World Series, or I was. It was the biggest game.
Was that demoralizing?
Something like that.
I got called into pinch run and on second base, and they called the game because of lightning.
Okay. Oh boy.
So I was really not happy about that. I've lost really bad in baseball. If we're talking about watching sports, I don't think anything really ever hurt me worse than when they had the Coach Art Briles T-shirts and we got creamed by TCU. I don't think I've ever really been hurt by anything more than that.
You were at the UNLV game.
Oh, but see, we've talked about that before. Y'all know how that was. I mean,
true.
You know, that's like a 7-year-old who, you know, you took his lollipop and like we ride home in silence, you know. Yeah. Watching them get destroyed by TCU on national television when, you know, Gus Johnson is there and everybody's wearing the shirts. And I have watched, you know, since Baylor was on TV on a regular basis, I've watched like every minute of every single game. But I turned that one off.
Yeah. Wow. Fair. Steven, thanks for your call, man. Good to hear from you as always.
Later, guys.
Got Joe Frazier on. You got anything off of that?
I was going to say my worst defeat as a player. We lost to Princeton my senior year at Princeton, 66-0. They had a quarterback that's in the NFL now, and they had a receiver that's also in the NFL now. So, like, in hindsight, it feels better. Tom Brady and Randy Moss were both at Princeton, and they ran it up on us.
That's while you were at Cornell.
That was dark.
Really?
Yeah, that was really dark.
Jeez, 66-0.
66 to zilch. It was bad, dude. It was the worst game I've ever been a part of.
I remember a junior high football game. The year before that, we were down 30-8 to a team, Morrilton, my 8th grade year. Like less than 2 minutes left. We're down by 22. We score, miss the extra points. Now we're down 16. It's 30-14. Onside kick. We get it. Next play, we score. So it's like, okay, this is kind of weird.
Let's go.
Next onside kick. Or we got the 2-point conversion, too. Next onside kick. We get it. First play, nothing. Second play, nothing. Third play, ripped off like a 57-yarder. So at this point, 2-point conversion away, it's 30-28. We land the 2-point conversion, tie it, no overtime in 8th grade. We ended up tying. Next season, we were playing them, and it's like, this is it. This is the one.
Yeah.
This is the one. We're going to beat
Morrilton.
them. We're going to beat them this year. At halftime, it was 35-0. It was like that. just the locker room in that moment. Shoot, that dropped us like 1-7 too. So that was it. That was a lot to take in.
You played.
I was worse than that. We played a private school. I was the only person that tackled their quarterback the entire game. That's real. That's a real stat.
That's freaking go.
He ended up being a 4-star.
He had to pay the toll that day.
Boom.
You know what I'm saying?
He ended up being a 4-star.
That was the most Drake Toll thing ever. That the worst loss you've ever suffered was just a story about how y'all had an epic comeback and you were the only guy who tackled the QB.
No. Okay, so
that was the most Drake Toll story ever. I'm sorry.
Those are 3 separate.
I'm sorry.
Stories.
I don't even care. You said, "Here's the worst loss I've ever experienced," and then you described an epic comeback that your team made.
Yeah, no.
And by the way, I was the only one who tackled the quarterback. My worst loss ever.
No, they're 3 separate stories.
I'm tracking.
It is a comeback, then the worst loss ever.
Whatever.
Then a worst loss where only one person tackled the quarterback.
It was your boy.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
Here's the reason that's relevant. The reason that's relevant is because there are people that go to Baylor now that I'm friends with. They're both KOTs that were on that same team that played not with me but against me in that game.
Oh, gosh.
And they vividly remember that, like to this day. Like they bring it up in conversation.
Dark. We'll
talk after the show.
Best to let sleeping dogs
We'll talk after
lie.
the show. Joe Frazier. Joe, what's going on, my man?
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
Happy Monday.
This whole Kim Mulkey letter, man. Happy Monday to you guys. Hope all your moms had a great day yesterday as well.
Yeah. My mom had a great day yesterday.
Nah, nice. That's awesome. But with the Kim Mulkey thing, I mean, it's y'all touched on it quite a bit because I look at it as a bad relationship. Hey, you broke up with me, but yet you're still trying to stay relevant when hey we've moved on, and I get it. That's her MO. That's the way. That's her. Just kind of how she's been over the last 10, 20 years she's been here. So, and I understand. I get it. Do I like it? No. Is it time to move on? Oh, yeah, because that ship's already sailed. We're done. So, but with that being said, I have my biggest bone to pick and issue right now has to do with this other guy. His name is Joe, who called into Paul and Smokey last Friday and went on this tear and tried to rip these guys for this, that, and the other, and then started ripping Mac Rhodes. And my biggest thing is, dude, you're not even here in Waco. You're in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
You're considered a Yankee because you're above the Red River. Shut up and your point means nothing to us. You're not even here. But it really irked me the way he tried to rip Mac Rhodes and say that Matt Rule was a terrible hire and that Dave Aranda's still questionable and all this kind of like, dude. Shut up and go anywhere else in the country and see what ADs are hiring, who's hiring who, and what kind of pocketbooks they're having to open up, and then see what records they're actually producing when they open that pocketbook. Because Kansas tried to do the same thing. They went and hired Les Miles. What happened? He's no longer there. What was his record? Still sucked. So, I mean, don't think that you've got to go out and get the best name out there all the time. Apparently, Mac Rhodes has done his due diligence and done his work and found great on-par coaches with Baylor. So this Joe from Oklahoma guy needs to shut up and ship out and stay north of the Red River and leave us people in Waco alone down here. And not to mention, because don't get me wrong, Smokey's a big dude. He can take care of himself. But I got his back and Paul and all you guys down there too, because that's throwing shade like that was just not even called for. And then you wanted to call out his sources? Come on, man. Give me a Chris Carter moment, because that's a huge come on, man.
I'm not going to lie to you, Joe Frazier from Waco. I'm going to be candid with you, shoot you straight here, just man to man. I don't think Joe from Oklahoma exists.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Joe is a troll.
Whether he exists or not, that guy coming up and him having to disguise himself for whatever, and just to try to stir that stuff up. Come on, man. That's not called for. It's not the time or place to be doing that, especially with all the stuff going on right now. Because, I mean, not to mention, spring sports across Baylor are just phenomenal right now.
Yeah.
What speaks volumes to me... Go ahead, Joe. I'll cut you off. Go ahead.
And then to throw just one little bitty local tidbit out there, is I don't know if you guys saw the state track meet, but there's one school down the street from Baylor, one high school that needs lots of love because they went down there and took names and kicked some tail while they were there and won the whole thing for the boys 4A, and that's the one La Vega Pirates down there. Not to mention state claimed 2 state records as well.
Wow.
Kid who ran the 100 ran 9.98, I think it was. He was moving.
On a scale of 1 to good, that is.
It was ridiculous.
Joe, yeah, I got to be honest with you. I know Paul said it during that segment. I mean, the guy said that Michael Jordan would be an assistant coach.
And Bill Laimbeer.
Yeah, the guy doesn't exist.
That was dumb.
He doesn't exist. He's a troll, and he's just trying to stir stuff out. Is he stupid? Yes. But is he also ironic? Yes. He wasn't being truthful in any regard, or he was just being an idiot. And it has no place, not on these radio shows, that's for sure. But yeah, I don't even give him the time of day. That guy's just stupid. The guy's trying to be stupid.
What speaks volumes to me is what sounded like a grown man takes time out of his day to call another grown man at his profession and just waste time and cause nonsense. So either he is completely misinformed and has horrible opinions and is just way off base, or he's just a troublemaker and just disrespectful. So both are way out of bounds and uncalled for, but I hope he calls back and hope that Smokey gets to turn to him again.
I don't walk into Joe from Oklahoma's Wendy's and say, damn it, you're flipping burgers wrong.
I don't come to your mom's basement and tell you how to file for unemployment.
Like I'm not walking in there like you suck at your job. You need to get new sources for your Wendy's order. Like what does pointless. Joe, what's the most demoralizing loss that you've ever faced, whether it be as an athlete or a fan?
You know, to be honest, I wasn't the athlete, or excuse me, I wasn't the fan. I was actually coaching, but I was on the receiving end, or I was on the upside. I wasn't really on the bad side, but it was so bad that I felt bad for them.
Been there.
If that makes sense.
Very few times.
Because it wasn't, because back in 2015, again, La Vega was in the state semifinals game, and we beat Decatur 53-0 the game before state. And I felt bad for Decatur because it was kind of funny. At the time, my ex-wife was teaching there, and then, of course, I was a La Vega alum. So, and I was at the game and all this kind of stuff, and I felt bad for him because it was a game before state in a football championship, and you couldn't put up a point.
That happens a
lot. And you got shelled 50-0.
That happens more than I knew, actually, as we did some research into high school football, that just the way that things kind of match up sometimes. But Joe, thanks for calling. Always good to hear from you.
Yeah, thank you, fellas. Y'all have a wonderful day and enjoy it.
Yeah, you too.
See you soon, Joe.
All right, we're going to hit a break here really quick. I got David Young here. David, I see you right there. Just hold on to the line 5 more minutes. We got to hit a commercial break right here. We'll come right back to you. I'm sorry about that, David. I'm excited to get to your call. Please hold on right there, David. We want to hear from you. I also want to hear from Jonathan Green.
Yeah.
Every day I wake up just waiting for a text from Jonathan Green.
Yeah. Just waiting for him to just text in.
I'm just waiting for Jonathan Green to call us and say, hi, I'm Jonathan Green.
Johnny G.
Because the first hour of SicEm365's Up-Tempo is brought to you by Banson Business Services. Owned by Baylor grad and SicEm365 Premium member,
JG, Johnny Green.
Jonathan Green. Banson Business Services offers a full suite of business support and financial services. Banson specializes in bookkeeping, payroll, outsourced CFO services, and consulting. They can help you with your taxes. Their business, manifest it.
Tell them. Let it sit. It helps you run your business.
It helps you run your business.
Yep.
Visit SicEm365.com/Banson. BANCIN. 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 That was actually way more of a struggle.
I was really stressed. I was like, I might spell Benson wrong. I might spell it wrong.
SicEm365.com/Banson for more information. When we come back, we're going to take David Young's call and talk a little bit more about sports. I'm Drake Toll. It's J.D. PicKell, Armstrong Sims. We're joined by Marcus Cooley today and Hayden Bumpus. This is Don't Go Anywhere, Up-Tempo.
They're still dancing. Michael Whitson and the Baylor men's tennis team dominated the field in rounds 1 and 2 of the NCAA tournament in Waco over the weekend. The team started by absolutely routing Texas A&M Corpus Christi 4-0 on Saturday before sweeping number 37 Oregon 4-0 on Sunday. Even with a 70-minute lightning delay and a move from outdoors to indoors in Sunday's match, the team was unstoppable. The squad now advances to the Sweet 16 of the tournament that will take place in Orlando, along with other final rounds. The number 2 Bears will meet 15-seed Ole Miss at noon on May 17th. In women's tennis, the Lady Bears took care of business in round 1 of the NCAA tournament in Waco by beating Texas A&M Corpus Christi 4-0, but fell in round 2 against Duke 4-3. The team finishes the season ranked 8th in the nation with a 24-5 record. Over to baseball, the Bears were unbelievable over the weekend. Literally, the team jumped on Kansas State in Waco on Friday, a 17-2 win before falling in what was a tight game early that ended 10-3 in favor of the Wildcats on Saturday. And then came Sunday. The Bears jumped out to a 6-0 lead early before putting up a remarkable 17 runs in the 5th inning alone, without Kansas State even recording an out. It snaps a 36-year-old record for most runs scored in an inning by a Baylor team. The final score landed at 23-3, with the Bears winning their 4th straight series in Big 12 play. And the Baylor softball team hit the road for the Big 12 tournament. The team was swept by Texas and was unable to score a run. And welcome to Waco, Baylor football landed commit number 10 of the 2022 class through 6'6", 310-pound lineman Bryce Simpson. Cy Ranch standout is a 3-star athlete. I'm Armstrong Sins, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. It's been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Uptempo.
How can we help you? That's a question we ask every day at American Bank. Hi, I'm President and CEO Dana Hassel. Our commitment to our customers is what drives us. It's why we've invested in new branch buildings and technology like ITMs that let you speak to a teller face-to-face from your car. It's why we work with local businesses, helping Waco grow and thrive. And it's why decisions about your accounts and loans are made here in Waco by people who know you. How can we help you? Find out at American Bank, member FDIC.
At Ideal MRI, we feel blessed to be a part of the Waco community. We're a small family business right here in Central Texas, and our goal is to bring down the cost of healthcare while maintaining high quality. At times like this, the cost of healthcare has never been more important, and unfortunately, significant illnesses and injuries still occur. That's why Ideal MRI is open and here to serve you through the difficult time. We offer premium MRIs just like a hospital with state-of-the-art technology and specialists, but you'll pay less. Sometimes thousands of dollars less, whether you're using insurance or not. At Ideal MRI, we accept most insurance and there are no hidden costs, even offering financing if that's needed. Everything included in the price, and you'll not get something as a surprise in the mail later on. If you need an MRI, ask your doctor about Ideal MRI. They'll know. You can schedule an appointment safely from home online in minutes at idealmri.com or give us a call, 833-IDEAL-MRI, idealmri.com.
Texas Board Certified Personal Injury Trial Lawyer and Baylor alum David Willis and Baylor alum Parker Willis are ready to help if you or a loved one has been wrongfully injured in an auto accident, SUV rollover, industrial accident, 18-wheeler crash, or were seriously injured by a defective product or recalled drug. Call them for a confidential and free case consultation at 1-800-GOT-HURT or visit them at texastriallawyer.com, principal office in Houston, Texas.
Hey, this is Bryce Petty, former starting quarterback and two-time Big 12 champion, and I know firsthand the importance of being in top shape both on and off the field. So listen up, men. If you're feeling beat down day in and day out and looking for that high-performance edge that separates the men from the boys, then look no further than the Petty Clinic Low T in Waco. Petty Clinic is a comprehensive men's healthcare clinic with an atmosphere catering to men. Board-certified Dr. Kent Petty has a special interest in offering the highest quality medical care to men of all ages. Some of the services offered include screening and treatment for low testosterone or thyroid, infertility, high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, sleep apnea, while offering comprehensive wellness exams and complete men's health lab panels. High performance men, remember, it's not just a Petty thing. This is Bryce Petty, encouraging you to reach out and Google search Petty Clinic Low T or go to pettycliniclowt.com and get your complimentary lab screening today.
Ram Truck Month means special pricing on the new 2021 Ram trucks at Allen Samuels. The three-peat Motor Trend Truck of the Year, Ram 1500 Lone Star Crew Cab, has special values up to $5,500 or 0% for 84 months. Allen Samuels, located at 201 West Loop 340 in Waco, Central Texas' new Ram commercial truck headquarters with 3,500 and 5,500 chassis cabs and other great work trucks. Visit Allen Samuels today. It's Ram Truck Month.
Come by. Let's be friends.
See dealer for details. All offers have credit requirements.
Stepping into a new pair of boots is great, but stepping into the boots of a U.S. Army officer can also add confidence and leadership skills to your son or daughter's career path. There are more than 150 occupational specialties to help them find the best fit for their future. See all the things your son or daughter can achieve in our boots at GoArmy.com. U.S. Army Waco Recruiting Company, 254-598-8131 or 254-776-1543.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio. Call us on the Impact Health Labs caller line at 254-339-1122.
Sit down, Bob. I'm not happy, Bob. Not happy.
Now back to the Bears Den with Drake Toll and J.D. PicKell for the Blonde Boys Power Hour.
Welcome back to the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. I'm Drake Toll alongside J.D. PicKell and Armstrong Sims. We got Marquise Cooley and Hayden Bumpus joining the show as well today. A couple of guys helping us out. How about all hands on deck?
We're deep, man.
All hands on
summer
deck
edition.
for Monday. Up-tempo summer edition. No Andrew Robertson today. No Jack McKenzie, but that's all right. That's all right. That's all right. It's Marshall Burns says, hey, sorry I'm late, you guys. Still trying to count all the runs that Baylor baseball scored this weekend. Ha ha! Boom! Boom! Still got it.
Got him.
Still got it. Still got it. This guy. Been watching Last Man on Earth on
really?
Hulu.
Pretty good. I haven't seen all of that. How
it's all right.
Into it?
I'm on season 3.
Okay.
I almost gave up at one point, and then Sudeikis came on, and it was better.
Yeah, I think you're farther along than me because I don't think I watched it super religiously, but it's good. It's good, yeah.
It's pretty
It's
solid.
kind of slower at times, but you're like, this is probably what it'd be like actually if we were the last people on Earth.
Got David Young on the phone line. David, I'm sorry we had you wait there so long. I'm glad we're getting to you now, though. David, what's going on?
Well, I was listening to y'all mention about Kim Mulkey, and there for a while yesterday when I read it in my paper, I thought it was just me. But now I hear y'all talk about it the way I was feeling, and it made me feel a lot better. I've noticed a lot of difference in Kim from when she first came here. I've lived here all my life, and I was here when she first got here and arrived as a coach. And I've noticed in the last 2 years a lot of difference in the way of her demeanor, and especially of lately towards the media and just people in general. Like she was not happy here. I recall when they were in San Antonio at the Elite Eight and having to do Zoom calls with local media, she told the gentleman, I hope he got you a new phone. If you didn't, tell them to buy you one. And if they're too cheap and won't buy you one, then feel free to contact me. I'll be glad to sell you one of mine.
Wow.
So, yeah, she's changed a lot. And not only, if you'll remember, in the Elite Eight in San Antonio, when they played UConn at the very end, the old Kim would have thrown her jacket off.
Yep.
To her players and run out onto the court, even though it was the end of the game, and chewed the official out.
Right.
And no longer is she that way. At least here she wasn't. And I think she just lost interest here.
Do you think she's lost her
hunger? But it really showed. It showed because all you got to do is watch people's body language, watch the way they act, towards people, and compare to when they first got here, and there's a lot of difference. And another thing about writing that article in the paper is lousy as far as I'm concerned. I threw it in the garbage can. I dug it out today because my sister wanted to read it, and the other lady that was here, who actually is from Louisiana.
Wow.
And she just had to read it, and that stuck out to me was it was all about her and nobody else. The least she could have done was thank the assistant coaches, recruits, and players that she had, because without them, she's not what she is today.
Right.
It's not all about just the coach. It is about all the other things I just mentioned.
Yeah, I think, David, you make a great point, because a lot of this thank you, she's thanking the fans who have only an indirect hand in what happened. It's like thanking someone that was there, but they didn't really contribute to the ins and outs of why this team won a national championship. So it's almost thanking this void for something that you have put together that, oh, I can thank them. Here's a great way to bring up some accolades while also sounding humble by thanking someone that really didn't have a hand fully dipped into what happened.
It was almost, I think, just inappropriate in the sense that she made sure everyone knew what she did on the heels of them hiring a new coach. Like, I don't think there's any place or any need for her to go and say, hey, this is what I did. I hope you missed me because I'm going to be in the Hall of Fame. We sold out games. We landed top recruits. Like, there was all these things that it was like, yeah, that doesn't matter. You don't coach here anymore. That doesn't matter. Like, we appreciate you saying thank you. This is completely late, but it felt very inappropriate to me in a lot of ways.
That is true. And another thing, if she wanted to give, a shout out to all Baylor Nation, all the fans, everybody that made it possible, she should have done it on her way to the plane to Louisiana. They should have fixed it where she thanked everybody then instead of waiting till now. It's a little late now, okay? Yeah. We're over it. We're over her. I'm ready to move on.
I know, David, you mentioned, and I agree, I think everybody's over it and ready to move on. I know you mentioned, too, that you were here when Kim got here to Baylor and that you've been in Waco for a while. Tell me, how does it compare, Kim Mulkey coming to Baylor to Nikki Collin coming to Baylor? What do you think about Coach Collin now in comparison to where the program was when Kim came and how Kim was when she came for that opening press conference?
Well, when she came to that opening press conference, she was not as egotistical as she is now. She was a little bit more down to earth. I could actually compare her more to what's going on now, with a new coach.
Wow.
It was not. I mean, she's gotten very egotistical over the years. And another thing that I noticed was when she first got here, she was very, very concerned about her appearance. And I got to say, it's really gone downhill in the past 2 years.
Whoa. I can't comment on that.
Yeah, I don't know if we can make a comment on that one, but David's throwing it out there for the public. David's letting them know. He's letting them know. Well, David, thank you for bringing your perspective and holding on the line for so long today. I'm glad we got your thoughts. I agree with a lot of them. I think this move, and especially if she would have come out and thanked, hey, I want to thank the individuals, I want to thank the fans, the assistants, without putting accolades in there. Just said, hey, everything that we've done is because of you.
Yes.
And yada, yada, yada. I love and cherish my relationships. You were all so sweet to me in my time there. You made it feel like home. Like, that feels like wow, this was really nice. But it was look at this. Oh, don't forget all the stuff that we did. Yeah. And it's just tough. But hey, David, our Bear Games question of the day today is, because Baylor baseball put up 17 runs in the 5th inning yesterday. Unbelievable game. What's the worst loss that you've ever experienced, whether it be as a former player or a fan?
Oh, wow. It was as a fan at the old Baylor Stadium, okay? And Grant Taft was the coach. The year was 1974. The quarterback was Neil Jeffrey. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Neil Jeffrey, but Neil Jeffrey had a speech impediment, okay?
Uh-huh.
And it made it very difficult for him to call plays in the huddle. And the more pressure that was on him, the more he stuttered. What it was he had a stutter. And it was 3rd down and 1. They were playing TCU here in Waco.
Yep.
And he thought it was 2nd down. And so, he basically, flubbed the play. And, the whole stadium couldn't believe what he just did. But he didn't realize it was 3rd down.
Wow.
Which by him purposely messing the play up, the clock was running down, mainly because he did have a difficulty in the huddle. When he was excited, he stuttered more. Wow. And so he only knew to just, get rid of the ball because he thought he had another down left, and they lost the game.
Wow.
Heartbreaker.
Demoralizing. And never forget it. It's been all those years. I mean, that's well over 30 years.
Right.
I mean, rolling up on 50, and never forget it. Wow.
That's something I'll never forget.
Wow.
Because they really had a good chance to win that game. You know, they were driving downfield, and they were at a reasonable distance to at least kick a field goal.
Yeah, I mean,
if they didn't make
speech
the
impediment
touchdown.
has nothing to do with what down you think it is. So I mean,
that's great.
I don't know. I can't bail you out there,
There's
Neil.
a lot going on there.
That's a you thing, Neil.
Come on.
I'm sorry.
Wow. Hey, David, thanks for your call. It's good to hear from you. Thank you for calling the show for the first time today. That was really good perspective you brought.
Yeah, it is my first time to call. I listen to y'all every day. You know, I mean, from start to finish.
Wow.
Thanks, Dave.
And then I started listening to Smokey come on. But I've listened to him before y'all started coming on because Butch Henry, who was with him, was a good friend of ours, and he passed away.
Yep.
But I still listen to the show.
Wow.
And but no, y'all are doing an excellent job. Don't let anybody tell you any different.
Well, thank you.
I've lived here all my life, and y'all are great. Y'all are fantastic, and y'all present a good way for people to vent. You know, if they have to. But it's not only venting on your show. The bright spots that you bring out in Baylor athletics, and all of us here really appreciate it.
Thank you, Dave.
And I hope y'all really realize that because y'all are doing an excellent job.
Thank you, Dave.
And I
appreciate
thank you for that.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, David, for listening because we couldn't do it without guys like you. And you're letting a couple of young guns, hot shots, just try to bring some sports to the airwaves. And not a lot of folks are privy to that. So the fact that we get to do it here is a blessing. And it's because of people like you that listen. We've been able to have thousands and thousands of listeners, win so many awards, and be the top-notch show in Waco because of people just like David.
Anybody
See what I was doing there? You see what I was doing there?
I like it.
Thanks for your call, David. That means a lot. Means a lot to hear that. You see what I was doing there?
I think so.
It's the same as we've been able to win so many championships.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Bring in thousands of listeners.
The concussions are catching up with me.
Yeah. You had a couple of those back in your day, didn't you?
More than a couple. Yeah.
Really?
I had 3 couples.
3 couples.
But we're still here. Still swinging.
Right. Still kicking. I'm still standing. Yeah. We've sung a lot of songs today.
Yeah.
You know why?
This is Music Monday.
Today's Music Monday.
Boom.
We got it. Armstrong, is it in the queue? Do you have it geared up for us today? Yes. That's a yes. It's a big old nasty yes from Armstrong.
We do have it queued
up. I want to know how Marquise and Hayden can do on this too. Can we
probably better than me?
Or I mean, yeah. Just is there any?
Yeah,
way
well, I can just relay their answers to y'all.
Okay.
Like
okay.
it.
That's
I
perfect.
like it.
That's perfect. All right. Music
I
Monday.
know that Marquise can hear. He doesn't. He's not plugged in.
That's fine. Marquise can. I'll give him some pointers. I do this every Monday. Hey, call us the next 15 seconds. You have 15 seconds to call us to play Music Monday. So I was walking down the street, went out of the corner of my eye. I saw this pretty little thing approaching me.
No one's gonna call in the next 15 seconds.
Yeah, well, I always give them
roll
a
it.
chance. All right, roll it.
The only problem was with you and not them.
The calling of your heartstrings that play soft and low.
Try not to confuse it with what you do.
Like it was hard, and you swear you didn't know.
What? I feel like I've got.
What? We probably got 5 points total.
Did you get any, Hayden?
I just know the last one is Billie Eilish.
Yeah, you're not supposed to say it. You're not supposed to say it.
Gosh!
I got
dang
that.
it.
I got that.
Nice. Now I've got 7.
You're not supposed to say it.
I'm kidding.
But we're gonna we roll it again.
Y'all
all got the last one though.
I got the last artist. I got the Billster.
Wait, don't say what you have though. We gotta replay it.
Oh, well,
you've played this before.
Yeah, but I mean, I thought that was fair game now. I thought that was out in the open.
Yeah, that is out in the open now. All right, here, let's roll it again.
The only problem was with you and not them.
The calling of your heartstrings that play soft and low.
Try not to confuse it with what you do.
Like it was hard, and you swear you didn't know.
Okay.
Ah, dang it. Hang on. Let me think about that last title.
I will tell you that last song, I literally just went on like USA Top 50 and just picked a random song. So I didn't even never heard that song before in my life. Right, y'all knew it, so I did something right.
Wait a second. I think, is it? Oh, gosh.
Okay. Let's go through them one by one. I'm forgetting the order.
Can you say that title for that song? Like, not you. Like, will we get in trouble for saying the title?
No.
I believe the last song is.
No, we won't. We won't get any.
Oh, is it?
Is it provocative?
No.
Okay, then it's not the song I'm thinking.
Okay, the first one, I think. Anyone got anything for the first one?
Are you really in the years? Or maybe it's just in the years.
Anyone got an artist? Okay, so that was Reeling in the Years. I will give it to you. I'm going to give it to you.
Dang
you
it.
should. That's impressive.
Because there was no words, so I'm going to give that to you.
Eagles.
Reeling in the Years. Steely Dan.
No shot. No shot. I was getting Steely Dan.
Okay, anyone? So that's one for JD. Anyone got the second one, which was?
Oh, yeah. You have the second one?
Second one. The Bieber. Love Yourself.
Bieber, Love Yourself.
So you got that? Okay. And then we got the third one. I'm trying to think of the order.
I have no idea.
I believe
The third one was kind of like Sinatra-esque.
Okay.
So.
Did anyone get anything for that?
No.
That was the man Van Morrison singing Moon Dance.
Dude,
Nope.
No shot.
That was Brown Eyed Girl.
Zero chance.
Y'all should listen to Van Morrison. He's got some.
We should.
He's got some. He's really.
What else
good.
you got?
You still alive?
The third one, the fourth one. Anyone got?
Running on Empty, Jackson Brown.
Correct.
No shot.
I hope y'all are keeping track of your scores because
Yeah, I got 4 piece.
Okay, and then the last one.
I got 3.
I got Eilish.
All right, anyone got a tongue title?
I'm not going to say because I thought it was something else, but I don't think it'll have this right.
It is Your Power.
Okay, yeah, I was way off.
Can we say that on the show? Can we say that on the show?
I was going to cause
can
a,
say
I was
your
going to
power
cause
on
a
the show.
stir if I said what I thought
You
it was.
oh my goodness!
yeah,
I got
okay.
a 5 piece. 4. You got 4.
I got 4. But are you kind of Billie Eilish?
Yeah.
Gosh,
Everyone
dang
gets
it.
Billie Eilish.
Gosh, dang it. Okay, we would have tied.
No, I would have had Eilish. I was
you?
kidding when yeah. It was.
Okay,
Pretty, I feel like
never
the voice
mind.
was.
And
Pretty,
what'd you get?
Never mind.
3 points. 3 points for Hayden.
Wow. And
So Drake takes it again. Hey,
Marquise got 4 as well.
There we go, Marquise.
Marquise. Yeah,
Marquise.
I told you I'd play for him. And so I was just testing Marquise's music knowledge from the back.
Okay.
I'm Drake Toll, J.D. PicKell. We got Armstrong Sims joining the show with us today as well. Marquise Cooley and Hayden Bumpus. When we come back, Max Garner, former Baylor pitcher and Big 12, first team All Big 12 selection, joins the show. This, don't go anywhere, is Up Tempo.
They're still dancing. Michael Whitson and the Baylor men's tennis team dominated the field in rounds 1 and 2 of the NCAA tournament in Waco over the weekend. The team started by absolutely routing Texas A&M Corpus Christi 4-0 on Saturday before sweeping number 37 Oregon 4-0 on Sunday. Even with a 70-minute lightning delay and a move from outdoors to indoors in Sunday's match, the team was unstoppable. The squad now advances to the Sweet 16 of the tournament that will take place in Orlando along with other final rounds. The number 2 Bears will meet 15-seed Ole Miss at noon on May 17th. In women's tennis, the Lady Bears took care of business in round 1 of the NCAA tournament in Waco by beating Texas A&M Corpus Christi 4-0, but fell in round 2 against Duke 4-3. The team finishes the season ranked 8th in the nation with a 24-5 record. Over to baseball, the Bears were unbelievable over the weekend, literally. The team jumped on Kansas State in Waco on Friday, a 17-2 win before falling in what was a tight game early that ended 10-3 in favor of the Wildcats on Saturday. And then came Sunday. The Bears jumped out to a 6-0 lead early before putting up a remarkable 17 runs in the 5th inning alone, without Kansas State even recording an out. It snaps a 36-year-old record for most runs scored in an inning by a Baylor team. The final score landed at 23-3, with the Bears winning their 4th straight series in Big 12 play. And the Baylor softball team hit the road for the Big 12 tournament. The team was swept by Texas and was unable to score a run. And welcome to Waco, Baylor football landed commit number 10 of the 2022 class through 6'6", 310-pound lineman Bryce Simpson. Cy Ranch standout is a 3-star athlete. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. It's been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
At Baylor University, students can shine in their own way. Or should we say their own ways? Because there's no limit to the ways Baylor students make the world a brighter place. Whether they're leading a student organization or following a higher calling, getting advice from faculty, or taking part in world-class research, pursuing their dreams, or working toward their dream job, students find their place to shine at Baylor, where lights shine bright.
Car has the trucks, man. They have the one for you. Crew cab, short or long bed, silver, black or blue. Texas size selection, great prices too. Richard Carr, he has the truck for you. Carr has the trucks, man. He has the truck you need. If you want the best truck, you want a GMC. Texas size selection, great prices too. Richard Carr, they have the truck for you.
Let Camille Johnson Realtors guide you seamlessly through the process of buying your dream home or selling your current one. Commercial, farm and ranch, or residential, Camille Johnson Realtors can smoothly and successfully lead you through any transaction. With a team of 28 experienced agents who are excited about serving you, Camille Johnson Realtors services the entire greater Waco area. If you're in the market to buy or sell, contact Camille Johnson Realtors, 104 Midway Center in Woodway, or find them online at www.camillejohnson.com. Camille Johnson Realtors, elegant, charming, warm. Welcome home.
If you or a loved one or friend has been arrested and you can't afford bail, trust Terry and Chase Chapman at Chapman's Bail Bonds, covering Waco and McLennan County for over 25 years. Chapman's can bail you out anywhere with experienced, knowledgeable local agents who are committed to serving you professionally, respectfully, and with the highest integrity. Chapman's understands your privacy is important. Your freedom can be secured fast when you use Chapman's Bail Bonds. Open 24 hours a day. Payment arrangements available. Call Chapman's Bail Bonds. When you need help, 254-754-1603. When you ring, we'll spring.
It was broad daylight. I stepped into a gas station for 5 minutes to grab a snack, and just like that, my car was broken into. They made out like a bandit. My laptop, my phone, everything. I called my agent to see what could be done, and he restored my faith in humanity. My claim was processed so quickly, and I was able to recover my losses.
Stop by and see our agents at one of our 3 McLennan County locations.
Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
Listen, in the past couple of years, we've had a lot of people moving in from out of state to Waco thanks to Chipper and JoJo. And while we welcome these new citizens, they unfortunately brought some of their bad habits with them. Hi, Jay here from Pickup Outfitters, and you know what I'm talking about. Naked trucks. You'd think everyone moved here from McNewtville. But we shouldn't judge them, we should help them. For example, when you see a recent transplant truck from a less civilized state like California, instead of saying, "Your truck is disgusting, your bed is exposed, get a bed cover on that truck, buddy," that's a bit harsh. Instead, try something like, "You know, in Texas, it's not polite to drive around with your bed exposed. Maybe you should check out the excellent selection of bed covers at Pickup Outfitters." And then if they refuse, you can say, "Well, I hear New Mexico's a nice state." Let's help our new neighbors and let them know that truck nudity is not okay. Let them know about Pickup Outfitters of Waco and send them to our website, createacommotion.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Cynthia, Jesus died for our Cynthias.
Call us on the Impact Health Labs caller line at 254-339-1122.
Julia Roberts, Julia Rob.
Now back to the Bears Den with Drake Toll.
And welcome back into the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. Happy Monday, everybody. No such thing as a case of the Mondays when you're listening to Up Tempo, and there's really no such thing as a case of the Mondays if you were paying attention to Baylor baseball this weekend or Baylor men's tennis. The men's tennis team going to the Sweet 16 in Orlando, and the baseball team staying hot, winning their 4th straight Big 12 series. The same team that was picked 8th in the Big 12 preseason standings. If you're following, that means the Big 12 coaches thought originally these Bears would not win more than 2 conference series. They've now won 4 straight. And on the show to help us break it all down and talk a little bit about his illustrious career as well, former Baylor pitcher Max Garner. Max, thanks for joining the show with us today.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm ready to talk baseball.
A pleasure to have you on. Always love riffing some ball. And first and foremost, Max, I mean, your career, I'm looking at the accolades here. All Big 12 honorable mention, all Big 12 pitcher of the week, first team all Big 12, second team all Big 12, 2-time Big 12 commissioner's honor roll. I mean, come on. Not only were you a great baseball player, you were a genius too. Just what a career at Baylor, man. Kind of how do you sum it up when folks ask you about your Baylor career now?
Oh man, I mean, it was the most fun of my life. I think just about anybody that I played with would say the same thing. You know, we put in a lot of hours that people don't see, and you know, every college athlete does that. But you know, we won a lot of games and had a good time doing it.
Max, you obviously an illustrious career at Baylor and the success that you guys were able to accrue as well. You look at that super regional year in 2012, top 5 team in the country for most of the season, and just really had that hot stretch there toward the end of the year. What do you remember specifically about just the success of the team, not just in 2012, but across your 4 years here at Baylor?
I mean, 2012 really was different. We talked about it while it was all going on. We felt different that year. So that's, you know, it'd be hard to generalize that. That year, you know, what I remember is just how it was a lot of fun to play with the guys I was with, and Coach Smith was great. So we you know, it was just fun.
Max, we lost you there for a second, a couple of audio video issues. I don't know if a connection or what it is, but I think we got you back now. I want to ask you, too, about that 2012, kind of on that 2012 team, and in there a couple of years, the Feed the Beaver movement. I think a lot of folks have forgotten about that and it's not brought up as much as I wish it was. Walk me through the old Feed the Beaver adage.
Yeah, there was a beaver living in the river right behind the right field foul pole. And, you know, he was up in the parking lot and everything after practice, after the season started. And, you know, Muncie and all those guys we had on that team were hitting home runs into the river. And, you know, someone just kind of said, hey, you know, feed the beaver. And and then it just exploded to a level.
Oh, nice. Couple
you
more.
Hear me better?
I think we got you now. Let's try it now. Try it now.
I think it was with the video. I think that was killing it.
Nice. Perfect. We can roll. We can riff with this. I can hear you loud and clear. That's the most important part, although you looked great. That 2012 year two, you know, you guys had that Texas A&M series. I remember that vividly. So, Max, I'm going to shoot you straight here. I grew up an Arkansas Razorback fan. Wow. And so 2012 hit. I vividly remember everything about that 3-game series in Waco, that super regional and all that came with it. But I also remember following a lot about Baylor that year because, you know, that was the year of the Bear. And that's really where I fell in love with Baylor. And that series against number 2 Texas A&M, where you came in to close out all 3 games. Do you remember that? And where does that rank amongst the best Baylor moments you had in your career?
That weekend was by far the best moment we ever had. Just as a team, it was kind of proof that our winning streak wasn't a fluke, which I think some people around the country were saying at the start of that streak. And it kind of proved to us that we could beat anybody in the country. And obviously with the crowds the way they were, both in Waco and in College Station, I mean, it was a blast. I remember almost every pitch I threw.
Wow. And I mean, with that crazy season you had, not just your junior year, but into your senior year, do you remember, I mean, do you still get stopped even now today, folks that recognize you or remember you from your baseball days?
Maybe not stopped, but, you know, when we get talking to Baylor fans about just about anything to do with sports and it gets to the topic of when I was there and when I was playing, everybody remembers that 2012 team. Everybody remembers Feed the Beaver and all the crazy signs and shirts that were up and just how awesome it was at the ballpark that year. I mean, the atmosphere was much better that year than it was any other time we were playing.
Max then drafted that 2013 year by the Miami Marlins in the 18th round, the 532nd pick. Take me through the draft process for you after your senior campaign and really where you went with baseball and then life after Baylor.
Yeah, I was a senior, obviously, so you don't have much leverage in the draft, and you kind of just, have to roll with the punches, and there's no negotiation or anything like that. And we thought I was going to be somewhere more in the 20s, and so I had left my house, wasn't even paying attention to my phone really, and was at a restaurant in the Lake Travis area, and got a call from a number in Florida that I didn't recognize to tell me that I got drafted while I was eating lunch. And it was, it was pretty surreal. But as far as the process went, I had made a decision to come back for my senior year. I think I don't know that my draft position would have changed that much had I left after my junior year. But that was, junior year is when you have more of a, more on your plate to make a decision about, really, because it's how close are you to a degree, how much money are you going to make, what's the balance of those two things, and what makes the best sense for you long term.
Well, Max, moving into the present with Baylor baseball this season, preseason number 8 in the country. Most folks thought that Baylor wouldn't be able to hold anybody else's jockstrap. This was going to be a down year for Coach Steve Rodriguez and the Bears, where you got an older pitching staff but younger bats that can't really get it together, and those wouldn't mesh. That was the narrative to start the season, and then they lost a series to UT Rio Grande Valley, and everybody thought, all right, the narrative was true. This team's just going to be mediocre, if not less than, this season. And that script has completely flipped. What is your overall, broad assessment of what Baylor baseball has put together so far this season?
It's really impressive. I didn't know what to expect. You had heard that Jared McKenzie was going to be good coming out of high school, but you don't really know. And we knew we had Thomas and Pineda and a couple of those other guys coming back who'd seen some at-bats, but you really are running a lot of young guys out there, especially in the batting order and on defense. And they've been impressive to watch. The at-bats is the most impressive part of the series that I've paid attention to, which is really since West Virginia Tech and Kansas State. I've pretty much watched every inning. And the way they go about their at-bats is just really, really impressive and really professional. And it shows. I mean, we got 5 guys over 300 and a couple other knocking on the door. That's impressive.
Max, as someone that still keeps up with Baylor baseball and a Baylor baseball alumni, when they dropped those 2 against UT Rio Grande Valley, they dropped 2 at the Round Rock Classic. They start the season at 2-4, and it was a really, really ugly 2-4. At that point, from a fan, alumni standpoint, I mean, do you just have complete reservations on the season?
Yeah, because it's a little bit different feeling from this perspective than actually being in the locker room, where until you are midway through a year and you're out of contention, the locker room's always going to be positive. You can turn it around and get back into the NCAA tournament or in contention in conference. So it's it's a little harder to hold your tongue and everything from the outside, because it was bad. I mean, they're making errors, not scoring runs. Pitchers were walking people. One of those 3 things could cause you to lose a game, and they were pretty much doing all 3 every game there to start. And then they got some games against some teams that weren't as talented as them, honestly, and got that win streak going. And sometimes, that you just need some confidence. And we played some good teams to start the year other than Rio Grande. I think that was just, a little shell shock for the young guys, but played some other good teams to start the year. And then, got that little win streak and got some confidence up for some of these guys that haven't played a lot. And I think that helps. But then obviously you run into 2 of the best teams in the country to start conference. And that, that's just a tough draw in the schedule.
Max, I'm looking at that 2011 season that you guys played, that really one of those last years with Big 12 competition the way that it was, and it was up and down and rocky prior to the 2012 year where things really turned around. I want to know from your standpoint as a player, when you're in the locker room, knowing that you've got to put something together to turn a season around, what is that mantra? Every team wants to do it. LSU wants to do it right now. They're not going to make the postseason. But how do you go from just saying it to speaking it into existence?
I think it's probably different for every team. For us in 2011, I think we made up a lot of ground and, halfway through conference and later in the season, if I'm really remembering right. And we had people still kind of not in the roles that they were going to be in to close the year out. By the end of that conference season, I was the closer. We had moved a couple of things around in the starting rotation where we had taken Brooks Pinkard from the closing position and turned him into a starter. And that all was constantly changing at the beginning of that year. And so it was difficult where we were losing some games and then also getting put in situations where we weren't necessarily comfortable, but we were trying to find the right combination of things to be successful. And, some of that is just going to be plug and play and see how it goes. But a lot of it was, just intense focus at practice so that you can really trust yourself when you get back out there.
Obviously, Max, Baylor baseball has taken that turn this season and turned into one of the better teams in Big 12 play. Now just 9-9 in conference, but considering where they started at, I think it was 2-7. So to be now 9-9, win their last 4 series in conference play, even that Tech series. We talked about it being a combination of older arms and younger bats. It's so odd to me how, especially in this COVID year, you got guys like Andy Thomas that are 30 playing with guys that are your true freshmen and 18. Cam Cayley, a starting pitcher for Baylor on Saturday, one of those guys. How, in your experience, tough is it to mesh with a guy when you are the freshman on the team with a senior, or a senior to a freshman, vice versa?
I think it's not as hard as you would think. I mean, they're definitely, if you have a couple of fifth-year seniors or even, 4-year guys, they're noticeably older. There's a really big jump from 18 to 23. I think everyone can tell. But, when you're in the locker room, it's the age difference is much less noticeable because it's all kind of banter that you've done on other teams, and it's not necessarily an age thing once you're all at the field. Now, it's still good to ask questions and rub up on those seniors and see if you can't learn a few things early. But I think as far as, just getting along with each other and being able to work at the field together, it's not quite as much of a gap as everyone might think.
Max, even with that, what Coach Steve Rodriguez has done to put together this roster, this lineup, and where he's got the team in general, I know you didn't have the opportunity to play for him, but what does this say about him and his coaching staff, the fact that they've turned this season around with a cast of guys, like we said, older arms and younger bats?
Says a lot. I mean, obviously everyone didn't think anything of this group coming into the year, and old pitching definitely helps, but obviously as far as I'm concerned, the offense has been the highlight, and, some of that's just good recruiting. You got to get good guys who can play, and they've done that. But obviously it really helps. We've got 2 of the best hitters in the country in the middle of our lineup, and that can fix a lot of wrongs.
Max, along with it, moving into postseason play, Baylor is really on that 2 to 3 seed bubble, which to me, there's not much of a difference between the 2 or the 3. I mean, the one team's going to be at home for the first game of the postseason, the other team's not. But really, what other difference do you get? That said, though, what does this squad need to do moving into their last 2 series against Oklahoma State and Oklahoma to help further solidify their resume? And really, what's a ceiling for them with these two series?
I think they should be going into these series expecting to win them. Oklahoma State was obviously hot to start the year. I think they got up all the way into the top 10 in the first, few weeks of the year. And it's never fun in any sport to go to Stillwater. I think everyone's pretty aware of that. But, that's a winnable series. With the way our bats are swinging right now, it's a winnable series. You would have said the same thing about Texas Tech, is you normally hope to go up there and just steal one game. But, with the way the offense is going, I think you got to be looking to win 4 or 5 of these 6 games and really make a push. And, maybe Tech loses a couple and you slide into 3rd place, and that'll give you not just a 2 seed, but maybe a higher 2 seed that puts you in a pretty winnable regional.
Yeah, Max, I think at this point, especially with COVID, and they do it every year, they try to make sure these regionals are exactly that, regional, and they keep a lot of teams near one another. So I think Baylor's doing everything that it can to stay away from that Arkansas regional moving into the postseason. With that, though, you got Oklahoma State, Oklahoma. Then you go to Oklahoma City for the Big 12 tournament. Past that, the NCAA tournament. Max, what gives you the confidence that this Baylor squad can make a run when it comes to postseason play?
The at-bats and the fact that the pitchers are old. I mean, the pitchers have all been there. They've played in the postseason. A couple of them probably on that team that won the Big 12 tournament. Pitching is where you're standing out there on your own, and you got a couple of young guys in a postseason situation or last series of the year that really means something, and it's a tight game out there in the 8th, 7th, or 8th inning, and they haven't pitched in a week and a half or something like that, then that's a pretty tough situation to be in. But having all these juniors and seniors, I think, is really going to make a big difference with that. And then everything else is just, the offense is obvious. They're doing it in every way. They're stealing bases, hitting home runs, bunting people around, walks, singles, everything. And so, if you score 5-6 runs, you got a chance against about anybody.
And Max, last question here for you. I asked you what, in your opinion, how can they? But I'm saying that question, how can they? This question, what do they have to do? You were right there, one out away from going to the College World Series. You've seen what teams have to do to make a postseason run. Not necessarily what gives you the confidence, but what do they have to do then to be able to do it?
You got to keep your wits about you late in games. I think everyone remembered how the second game of the Arkansas series ended for us, and that was the first time we'd had anybody, and it was multiple people, and it was the first time we had anybody tense up in a big situation the whole year. You've got to be so focused on not on what the situation is, but just on approaching the next pitch or the next hitter or the next ball that comes to you as it's just like the first inning of a game in February. It's got to be the same feeling for you, or as much as you can make it the same feeling, because if you sit there and think about the situation or the fact that you're knocking on the door to fly up to Omaha or something like that, then you can you're focusing on the wrong stuff. You're not focusing on what's about to happen.
And Max, our Bear Games question of the day for you. So with Baylor baseball putting up 17 runs yesterday in the 5th inning, we're asking folks, whether it be as a player, because most people didn't play past high school, junior high, myself included, whether it be as a player or a fan, what's the most demoralizing loss that you've been a part of?
Oh, man. I mean, demoralizing more than just being sad. I don't know. Every time anyone asks me about a loss, all I can ever think about is that Arkansas series. So that's probably my answer, even though we obviously didn't get blown out or anything like that. We had a couple of games where we lost by 10 or something in college, but once you're 8 years out the door, those aren't the ones you really remember.
Well, Max, thank you for joining the show today and breaking down Baylor baseball with us. It's been a pleasure to get your thoughts on your career and then the Baylor baseball team this year, and hopefully they keep on marching.
Hey, appreciate it. Sick 'em Bears.
Absolutely. And that's Max Garner. Former Baylor pitcher, was a closer on that 2012 team that recorded 3 saves against number 2 Texas A&M. 10 saves over the course of the season, led the Big 12 in saves, an illustrious career as a Baylor baseball player. Speaking of careers, Baylor baseball players, up next, we're joined by Hayden Kettler, current starting pitcher who got another win over the course of this past weekend, locking down Kansas State. We're going to talk to him about it and about this team moving forward. I'm Drake Toll. Armstrong Sims. We're also joined today, especially in studio, by Marquise Cooley and Hayden Bumpus. When we come back, Hayden Kettler joins the show. This is Up Tempo.
They're still dancing. Michael Whitson and the Baylor men's tennis team dominated the field in rounds 1 and 2 of the NCAA tournament in Waco over the weekend. The team started by absolutely routing Texas A&M Corpus Christi 4-0 on Saturday, before sweeping number 37 Oregon 4-0 on Sunday. Even with a 70-minute lightning delay and a move from outdoors to indoors in Sunday's match, the team was unstoppable. The squad now advances to the Sweet 16 of the tournament that will take place in Orlando, along with other final rounds. The number 2 Bears will meet 15-seed Ole Miss at noon on May 17th. In women's tennis, the Lady Bears took care of business in round 1 of the NCAA tournament in Waco by beating Texas A&M Corpus Christi 4-0 but fell in round 2 against Duke 4-3. The team finishes the season ranked 8th in the nation with a 24-5 record. Over to baseball, the Bears were unbelievable over the weekend, literally. The team jumped on Kansas State and Waco on Friday, a 17-2 win before falling in what was a tight game early that ended 10-3 in favor of the Wildcats on Saturday. And then came Sunday. The Bears jumped out to a 6-0 lead early before putting up a remarkable 17 runs in the 5th inning alone, without Kansas State even recording an out. It snaps a 36-year-old record for most runs scored in an inning by a Baylor team. The final score landed at 23-3, with the Bears winning their 4th straight series in Big 12 play. And the Baylor softball team hit the road for the Big 12 tournament. The team was swept by Texas and was unable to score a run. And welcome to Waco, Baylor football landed commit number 10 of the 2022 class through 6'6", 310-pound lineman Bryce Simpson. Cy Ranch standout is a 3-star athlete. I'm Armstrong Sins, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up-Tempo.
With so many companies and policies out there, it gets so confusing shopping for insurance, and I never know if I'm getting the policy that's right for me. Luckily, I met the team at the Niche Group Insurance Agency. With the Niche Group, you can go to one company and get access to coverage options from many insurance carriers, and you get to speak to a real person about your specific coverage needs. With the Niche Group, I know I'm getting the right coverage at the right price. If you need insurance, talk to the experts at the Niche Group at 1-800-258-8302.
Boozers is the wedding ring store and more. If you're ready to get engaged or already married and want to upgrade your wife's ring for a special anniversary, Boozers is the place to go. With the largest selection of premier quality diamond engagement rings and wedding rings in Central Texas. They have 7 cases with over 300 styles of rings from top designers like Natalie Kay. Choose from yellow, white, or rose gold, plus beautiful top quality loose diamonds. With an in-house jewelry, they can also custom make anything you want. Bring in a picture or drawing and let Boozers create your one-of-a-kind pendant or ring. They can even use some of your old gold and diamond jewelry to create something new. At Boozers, you'll find a great selection of quality timepieces, and Boozers is the place for expert watch maintenance and repairs, too. They specialize in expert Rolex watch repair for fine jewelry, watches, custom work, and more. Go to Boozers on Valley Mills and Lake Air Drive in Waco.
Boozers, the wedding ring store and more.
How did Edward Jones become one of the biggest financial service companies in the world? By not acting that way. Financial strategies, one-on-one advice, it's a big difference. And that's why Brad Wilson, your Edward Jones financial advisor, makes sense of investing. Experience the difference for yourself. Brad Wilson, 250 Sharon Drive in Woodway, 254-776-4337. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Riverbend Liquor and Wine has their easy-to-access drive-thru open and convenient and clean in-store location on the corner of Lakeshore Drive and North 19th Street in Waco. Riverbend Liquor has the best and most extensive variety of craft beer selections in Waco, and Balcones whiskey, including single malt, pot still, baby blue, rye, brimstone, and the all-new lineage in stock. Riverbend Liquor and Wine, family-owned and operated, and a hidden gem in Waco on Lakeshore Drive and 19th Street. And find out more on Facebook and Instagram.
It's a name and a memory that called us back. It's a belief and a labor that will carry us forward. It's a time and experience that will make you return. The new Bear Ridge Golf Club, a space revitalized, a course restored, a new experience. For a tee time today, call the Pro Shop at 254-848-7800. Go to BearRidgeWaco.com, just south of Waco on Highway 84. Come join us at Bear Ridge Golf Club.
At Marco's Pizza, get craveable pizza made the Italian way with dough made from scratch, an original sauce recipe, 3 fresh signature cheeses, and premium toppings you love, served hot and safe. Right now, you can get unlimited medium one-topping pizzas for just $6.99 each. Why stop at just one? Order with your app or at marcos.com for curbside, carryout, or delivery today. Marco's, pizza lovers get it.
Stepping into the boots of a U.S. Army officer can add confidence and leadership skills to your son or daughter's career path. See all the things they can achieve in our boots at GoArmy.com. U.S. Army Waco Recruiting Company, 254-598-8131 or 254-776-1543.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
No capes. Do you remember Thunderhead? Tall, storm powers. Nice man. Good with kids.
Listen. Call us on the Impact Health Labs caller line at 254-339-1122.
China guy, snag on takeoff. Splashdown, sucked into a vortex. No capes.
Here's Drake Toll and Armstrong Sims.
Welcome back into the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. Happy Monday, everybody. May 10th. How about it? I tell you what. This is legitimate too. If you'd have told me, you said 2 months ago. So 2 months ago, May, back to April, back to, is it February, January, February, March 10th. You say, listen, Baylor baseball, May 10th, will be a 2 seed in the national tournament. They'll be a trajectory to be top 3 in the Big 12 and have a chance to vie for maybe out there in the deep realm having a big-time postseason seed. I'd have said, look, come on, man. You really think so? Well, I know so now. That's what's happening. Hayden Kettler joins the show to tell us what is happening because, Hayden, you guys are about as hot as it gets, and I don't know if anybody in the national media saw this coming.
Yeah, I mean that's just that's kind of how baseball rolls. You go through streaks where you're playing really well, and baseball is very contagious. So from a hitting and a pitching perspective, when some guys are doing good, it seems like the whole team's doing good, and we're on one of those stretches right now. And so we had a bye week last week, and there's kind of some worries that maybe we would come out a little rusty, but I think we kind of slammed the door on that narrative, and we showed up, and our offense was just absolutely insane this weekend. And so I really like where we're at. I think our guys are locked in, and we have eyes on the postseason. And so we're just trying to play good baseball until that comes. And then at the end of the day, if you're playing your best baseball down the stretch, that's all that matters.
Hayden, that was a big question. That 10-day stretch where you guys go without playing a single game, do they stay hot? Are you guys able to keep the bats warm? And that was proven with 17 runs. You said, look, we're going to make up for that all that time off by scoring 17 in game one and then coming back and scoring another 23 on Sunday. What was the mantra in that 10 days off? Obviously, you want to rest, but you want to stay ready.
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, obviously we had finals, so guys were, focusing up on school, getting school over with, but I think everybody was just itching to get back on the field. We had a good week of practice, even though it was sort of limited, but like I said, I mean, baseball is one of those things. It's like it's contagious. Like when you're playing good, everyone seems to be playing good, and like the mojo around the team is so positive. And so we just we knew that was going to be a question mark coming back from a 10-day rest, but we wanted to make sure that we just were up for the task and ready to come back and just not miss a beat from where we left off.
Hayden, I've asked all the players that we've had on this, as well as the coaches when it comes to baseball, and that what I love going back and referencing is that UTRGV series. And I'm sure that's been bulletin board material for you guys most of this season. You get the call, I think it was like 48 hours before the series, that, hey, we're going down, and we're going down soon to play a random series, doubleheader Sunday, one game on Monday, just about as sporadic as you can get a baseball series. What was the preparation like for that series, if any at all?
Well, yeah, it was definitely different than what we're used to. If I can remember, that was the week of the ice week. And so basically for the past 7 or 8 days, we've been practicing inside, which not just us, I mean, a lot of the teams around this area had to deal with the same thing. But yeah, we knew we had a home series. I think it was versus Jacksonville State. And so we were really excited about kicking off the season at home. And then as it got closer and closer, we started to realize that the chances of us being able to play were, getting slim. And so coach just made sure that we stayed ready and didn't really think about the upcoming weekend. We just wanted to have a good day of practice each day. And then obviously it was 36 hours before the first game, we got the call that we were going to be driving down south and playing on the road versus a team that we had not really been scouting, which for their sake, I mean, it was the same thing for them. They didn't realize they were going to play us. So it was definitely unique, and it's not how you would like to draw up the first weekend of the season, but I think it was a learning curve for everybody, and just kind of showed us that this is how this year may be with COVID and the pandemic, and obviously weather and whatnot. So it didn't go our way, and from a win-loss standpoint, but I think it definitely taught our team a lot and told us that, we need to be flexible and we need to be ready to go like whenever we're called. And so that's just kind of something that we learned from that.
Hayden, I look at a team like Auburn this season who has really, they started off the year poorly and never recovered. It was as if they started losing games early and at no point did it just click for the team. They've just stayed really in the doldrums of the SEC. You guys are up 8-0 against UTRGV, lose that game 2, 9-8, and then fall 7-4 in the next one. At any point in time, the team could say, all right, look, let's pack the bags on the season. There are a lot of teams, like I just mentioned, Auburn. You lose the first couple of games and things never really recollect. How did this team go from losing 2 out of 3 against UTRGV to now winning 4 straight Big 12 series?
Well, I mean, it says a lot about the resiliency of the team and the coaches and how they stay honest to compete and to just look positively. And I think we've got like 5 or 6, maybe even 7 fifth-year seniors on the team. And one of the things we told the younger guys early in the season was, we've never played a full season at Baylor and not made it to the postseason. And so, including myself, I mean, I'm here in my 5th year, and my freshman, sophomore, and junior year, we made the postseason each year. And then obviously senior year was cut short. And so we came back. And so, I mean, we told them that, look, like we know what it takes to get to the postseason. We're not out by any means. Don't start to think that this is just a waste of a season. Like, you put your head down and you start working and we win games. Like, all it takes is win one game at a time. And all of a sudden we start to put together a little run, and next thing you know, we're right in the mix of things. And so I think just having a bunch of veteran leadership on the team has been able to kind of just like keep the guys that haven't really been to the postseason yet in line and say, look, like, every team's going to go through a stage where, we're not playing well. But at the end of the day, my sophomore, junior year, we put together streaks where we won 15, 16 in a row. And so that's just something that I think having guys on the team that have been to the postseason and seen what it takes and whatnot, just, it's really helped everybody kind of click and stay together and have the end goal in mind, but while also taking it one game at a time.
Hayden, I'm not sure if your answer changes, but the same kind of thing happens. You start the season not exactly how you'd like to, and then moving into Big 12 play, there's that win streak. You go on against some of the non-conference opponents. You hit Big 12 play, and folks are asking, all right, is this a fluke? The team's won a bunch of these games in a row, but is it a fluke? Big 12 play starts 1 win, 5 losses in those first 2 series, and folks think, all right, here it is. Baylor predicted 8th in the preseason of the Big 12. That's probably where they'll end up landing. When did it click for the team? Hey, I know we're 1-5, but we're about to turn the ship around.
Well, I don't want to say it clicked at TCU because that was just an all-around bad weekend for the team. But I think TCU going on the road and getting it handed to us 3 games in a row it really sparked a fire under at least myself and several of the other guys that are in the position that, we've made the postseason every year they've been here. And so going there on the road to our rival school and losing in dominant fashion 3 games in a row, it kind of said, look, all right, like we either change this thing and we turn this thing around right now, or we're not going to be in the postseason where we all want to be. And so we really just, you have to, it's hard to look at the postseason, to look at the bigger picture when you start 1-5 in conference play. But the whole mindset was that, like, everyone knows we want to be here. Everyone knows what it takes to get there. And if you think about it like, oh, we got to win 4 or 5 series in a row, that doesn't seem as attainable as, all right, we just got to win this game. We got to win this series. And so taking it 1 series at a time, and I think having guys just play loose and relax, it's allowed us to really like reach that new level, and the level that I think this team is truly capable of playing every weekend.
Hayden, you obviously hit that level, and you guys now with the 4 straight Big 12 series victories. I want to take you back though to even before UTRGV, before the TCU Texas series, all the way back to the season canceled in 2020. Being a senior, I mean, you had already started 4 games that year. You're getting into a groove. Season's pulled out from under you, and at this point, you've got a decision to make. What went into deciding to come back to Baylor and giving this program 1 more year?
Well, I mean, I wasn't ready to stop playing baseball was the biggest thing. But, I think it's whenever I was recruited to Baylor, Coach Rodriguez and his staff, we were their first recruiting class. So my class of 2016 graduating high school was the first class that they recruited to Baylor. And one of the things that they told me, and I'm sure that they told some of the other guys, was that they wanted us to be building blocks to the foundation of what they were building. And so whenever they put it in that perspective, it really just made me appreciate and, be very humble for how they viewed us as players and what they wanted to do with this program and turn it around. And my parents went to Baylor, so I'm very passionate about Baylor sports. And it was something that I was so excited to be a part of and that I wasn't ready to let go yet. And anytime that if I'm given an extra year of eligibility, it's like almost a no-brainer. Like, I got to use it because this is such an awesome experience to play for Baylor, the school you love, and the fans, and just this entire university and my teammates as well. I mean, there's a lot of guys on the team that are really, really talented, and they hadn't been able to experience a full season yet. And I wanted to be able to, ride that ship with them and kind of like mentor them and like get them ready, because those guys below us are really good, and they can take this program to the next step. And so I think all great teams have veteran leadership. And I think it was just something that not only myself, but several others, Andy Thomas, Jimmy Winston, Luke Boyd, and company, we just wanted to be a part of. And we wanted to be able to just mentor these guys while also helping the team. And just like Coach said, being those building blocks for what they wanted to build.
Hayden, I love that you mentioned coming in and helping out the younger guys on the team, because we talked about it with our last guest, Max Garner, who was an all-Big 12 pitcher 10 years ago for Baylor in that 2012 run, that you got guys like Andy Thomas that are almost 30, and then a guy like Cam that went out on Saturday who's, 17 or something like that. So when you mesh those older guys with a bunch of younger guys, it's really that senior-laden pitching staff with the younger bats. How well has that connected? How interconnected are you guys this season with such an age gap in a lot of different spots on this team?
Well, given the circumstances, given the fact that, like you said, we got guys that are pushing 30, and then we got guys who, just started driving a couple years ago. It's definitely you come in, and there's definitely some there's just different parts about, the way we talk, the way we, approach life, the way we do school, obviously the way we play baseball. But all those things kind of go away once the season starts, and you realize, these are my teammates, these are my best friends. And so we've created this really awesome bond, and it's going to be weird to think that I'm going to be leaving next year and these guys still have 4 more years or 3 more years here. And but no, one of the things that I think comes into play is whenever you have guys that are young and guys that are asked to step into a spot and a role pretty early in their career, one of the things that I know happens with a lot of people is people are not afraid, but they look at the competition and they look at the Big 12 players that they're going to be going up against, and they've been watching them on TV for 2 or 3 years. And so myself, when I got here, I remember playing against schools like Tech or Texas or TCU and seeing these guys on their rosters playing Omaha from my couch in high school like 2 years ago, and now I'm pitching against them. And so you start to question yourself deep down, like, am I ready for this? Or like, can I be on the same level as these guys? But the question or the answer to that is that absolutely, that's why you're here. And so when I was able to learn that my freshman year and kind of like break out of my shell and realize that I belonged here just like everyone else, I think I was able to take that next step. And so I've been trying to tell the young guys, and so have all my other veteran teammates, that look, like, you're just as capable and you're on the same level as all these guys in the Big 12, whether they're freshmen, sophomores, juniors, seniors. Like, you're here for a reason. They're there for a reason. And when you grew up in high school, you played really good competition, and all those guys went on to go play at Big 12 schools or SEC schools. And so it's not like you're playing anyone different. You are just older now. And so that's another one of those things I wanted to go back to about the being able to come back and be better in leadership. That's something that it's hard to get yourself to believe in, that you're on the same level, you're ready to play at whatever competition is presented in front of you, even as a freshman, a 17 or 18-year-old. But I think we've meshed really well, and it's been a great mix of young guys and old guys.
Hayden, along with that and some of those younger bats and what they've been able to put together this season, from a starting pitcher's standpoint, there are a lot of these games. I'll tell you, I am surprised pretty typically when the bats don't put up 4 or 5 runs in the first couple of innings, especially in these conference games, in this conference run. For you as a starting pitcher, how does your confidence boost when you go out there with a 3 or 4 run lead early on in a game?
I mean, it completely changes the game, I'll be honest. I know this last Friday, we got up to, I think we scored 5 or 6 runs in the first 2 innings. And the top half of the first inning, when I went out there to open the game, my thought is that I've got to keep everyone off base, especially no runs. And then as we start to score more runs, and all of a sudden I'm going out there in the 3rd or 4th inning, and we've got a 6 or 7 run lead, my focus turns to, all right, let me just minimize. And if they get a run across, or if they string together a couple hits, that's okay. We've still got a 5, 6, 7 run lead. I just don't want to make this inning a big inning for them. So if I can trade 1 run for 1 out, or 1 run for 2 outs, or 2 runs, whatever it is, as long as we can come out of that inning and still have a comfortable lead, that's all that matters. And so as a pitcher, when you're able to get run support like that, I mean, it takes away basically all the stress that you have in every pitch. I mean, you're sitting there thinking, a good hitter gets out 7 times out of 10. And so at this point, I'm just playing the odds. I'm just going to throw strikes and let them get themselves out. And then if they start to get guys on, then we'll start, picking corners and mixing speeds and trying to, finesse a little bit. But at that point, I mean, we've got a 7 run lead. And so my job is literally just to go out there and throw strikes and get us back to the dugout.
Hayden, you talk about not giving up big innings, and 17-2 final score on Friday. Well, things didn't necessarily go the right way on Saturday, but then you look at the Sunday. It's 6-0. 6-0's a pretty reasonable score going into the 5th inning. I mean, it's not great if you're on the losing end, but it's also not just insurmountable. You know what is insurmountable is 23-0. That's probably a little bit more insurmountable. That inning, 17 runs in 1 inning. From the perspective of a player, you're sitting there just, obviously you can't play on Sunday, so you're just enjoying the ball game, and it keeps pouring on. There are no outs and 17 runs across. Take me through that half inning as a whole.
Man, I've never been a part of anything like it. It was awesome. I just remember the inning started, and we started with a 6-run lead, 6-0, and everyone in the dugout kind of realized that, okay, since we are on Sunday, a 10-run lead would call for a mercy rule after 7 innings. And so we were kind of thinking okay, we could reasonably get to 10. And I just remember looking up, and we've got 8 or 9, and the thought process was okay, we could get to 10 this inning. And then it just kept going and going and going. And next thing you know, we've scored 12, 13, 14 runs. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how many are we going to score? And then we get to 16 runs, and there's still no outs. And truly, it was something that I don't think could ever happen again. I mean, it was every single hitter in the lineup was coming up and either getting a hit or walking or getting on base somehow. And I mean, it's not like K-State just gave it to us. I mean, guys were getting hits. It wasn't like we were just walking and hit by pitch. It was hit after hit after hit. And so, I mean, it was pretty awesome to be a part of that from a dugout. I think in that 1 half inning alone, I think I probably went and got 2 different snacks just because it seemed like time was just going on, and we were still in the same inning.
17 runs, no outs, 1 inning. That was obviously spectacular and a big boost for you guys, I know. I mean, how can you not build confidence and momentum off of that, especially with how well the offense has played? And Hayden, for you, I want to know what you talked about being in the postseason before. And this team has that trajectory to do it again this season and pretty much locking that down as we speak. For you, what gives you the confidence that this team can make a deep postseason run?
I think it's just the ability for multiple guys to play multiple positions. We've got a deep pitching staff. And to be honest, I think the fact that we're dealing with a year where we've got COVID and we've got expanded rosters, it's allowed us to give more guys than usual very meaningful playing time. And that's something that, during the course of the season, you want to get as many guys valuable reps as possible, but you still want to win every game. And so not having that, that comfortable, foot on the gas type feeling where like, okay, we've got a big lead here, or we've got, whatever it is to allow other guys to step in and play. But we've had that multiple times this year. And so we've had several guys get opportunities. We've had a few injuries. We've had obviously some issues with COVID. And so just allowing to get so many different guys valuable playing time has really helped us grow deeper as a team. And so we've got, 4 or 5 really good starting pitchers that we could throw out there in any game to, win a regional or win a super regional. And we've got obviously just a tremendous lineup from top to bottom that can go out there and score 23 runs in a game if needed. I think it's just the depth and the versatility of the guys on our team and how they can play multiple positions. And we're perfectly set up for how we want to be going into the postseason. And that's, keeping guys healthy and also getting guys reps and getting guys comfortable and confident.
Hayden, you've been there. You've been in the postseason. You've squared off against teams with a chance to go to super regionals, and you've seen what it takes to win down the stretch to keep a season alive. What does this team have to do to be able to make that postseason run?
Well, I think the biggest thing, once we get to postseason, I think that, it's just another game, and it's just another team that we're going to play. And to be honest, playing the Big 12 Conference versus teams like TCU and Texas Tech, those are some of the best teams in the country. So we've got to just go into the postseason whenever we get there and just realize that, okay, these are just another game. It's not a game that is, we've got to do something that we've never done before. We don't need to, hit 5 home runs. We don't need to steal 10 bags. We don't need to make insane plays or make ridiculous pitches. We just need to go out there and play baseball. And I think in the past couple of years, there's been a little bit of not nerve, but just excitement that kind of goes too much over the top. And, I think we just need to relax and play baseball, because at the end of the day, we've been to 3 regionals in the past, and all 3 of those regionals were winnable. And I think that, we obviously came out losing them, but it's not that we got beat. It's that we almost beat ourselves, especially my first year when we went to Houston. I think that everyone on the team would love to have that regional back. And then obviously we go to Stanford and UCLA the past couple of years, and they're wide open. And it's like the team that's playing the most sound baseball wins the regional usually. It's not the team that has the most firepower. That's just how baseball works, is the team that's playing the best baseball all around is going to win the regional, not the team that has, the most draft prospects on the team, or, hits the most home runs or throws the hardest. It's just playing fundamental baseball all around. I've seen teams that are 3 seeds or even 4 seeds make it to the super regionals in Omaha. So it's very doable.
Hayden, before we get you out of here, Bear Games question today. I know we got a lot of excitement for you guys going to the postseason this year, and I heard Coach Rod say it yesterday. It's taking it one game at a time. It's the most cliche thing that there is in sports, but I know that's still the mantra of this team and what you guys are prepared to do, try to make that postseason run, and I'm excited to follow it the entire way. But Marshall Burns tells us you guys have scored now 70 runs combined in your last 5 games, which is unrealistic. 70 runs in 5 games. And that demoralizing 5th inning. Even there are times where as an athlete, you're pouring it on somebody and you almost feel bad. The point where you're like, oh man, this is getting kind of tough. On the flip side of that, our Bear Games question the day-to-day is, what is the most demoralizing loss that you've taken, whether it be as a fan or as a player? Most folks are from a fan perspective that have called in, but one of those you just thought, all right, this went from like, it kind of hurts to this is just sad.
Oh, man, that's tough. Well, I think probably the most demoralizing loss that I've been a part of was as a player, and when I was in the game directly, my sophomore year, I gave up, I think, 6 home runs in one game versus Oklahoma State. And I'm never someone that's going to go out there and just like lose confidence in the middle of the game. So Coach, I remember he came and asked me, he's like, after like the 4th home run, I think we were in between innings, and he was like, are you going to lock it in? Like, is that it? And I was like, that's it, Coach. Like, from now on, like, there's not going to be a batter get on base, much less a home run. And the first batter, of course, takes me deep in the fourth inning or whatever. And then, so I can see the bullpen getting warm, but I still go out for one more batter just to give him time to get in. And of course that guy goes back to back. And at that point I was like, all right, this is not my day. But, and I could tell the other team was kind of, I mean, they were having just as much fun as we were yesterday. And so that's probably the most demoralizing loss I've ever experienced as a pitcher.
Wow. Yeah, Hayden, I don't want to rain on your parade either, but I found the box score pretty quickly, and one guy for Oklahoma State, Trevor Boone, had 3 home runs in that one. But hey, so much has changed in 3 years. So much has changed. So you guys are in a great spot to finish in the top half of the Big 12, top 3 even in the Big 12, and move into the postseason. So congratulations for that much. I know it's not over yet, and the congratulations is not in order until this thing's all wrapped up. But it's been a great ride watching you so far, and I'm excited to see these last couple series into postseason play.
Well, thank you so much, Drake. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm excited that you're able to find time for me on the show. And, let's just hope we can keep this train moving.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us, Hayden. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
That was Hayden Kettler, the Baylor baseball team starting pitcher for the old Bears. When we come back from this break, we are joined by Izak Vander Merwe. That's right. Say that 6 times fast. Izak Vander Merwe, men's tennis assistant coach, because his team is headed to the Sweet 16 in Orlando, still dancing in the NCAA postseason. I am Drake Toll, alongside Armstrong Sims, joined today by Marquise Cooley and Hayden Bumpus. When we come back, Izak Vander Merwe. This is Up Tempo.
They're still dancing. Michael Whitson and the Baylor men's tennis team dominated the field in rounds 1 and 2 of the NCAA tournament in Waco over the weekend. The team started by absolutely routing Texas A&M Corpus Christi 4-0 on Saturday, before sweeping number 37 Oregon 4-0 on Sunday. Even with a 70-minute lightning delay and a move from outdoors to indoors in Sunday's match, the team was unstoppable. The squad now advances to the Sweet 16 of the tournament that will take place in Orlando, along with other final rounds. The number 2 Bears will meet 15-seed Ole Miss at noon on May 17th. In women's tennis, the Lady Bears took care of business in round 1 of the NCAA tournament in Waco by beating Texas A&M Corpus Christi 4-0, but fell in round 2 against Duke 4-3. The team finishes the season ranked 8th in the nation with a 24-5 record. Over to baseball, the Bears were unbelievable over the weekend, literally. The team jumped on Kansas State in Waco on Friday, a 17-2 win before falling in what was a tight game early that ended 10-3 in favor of the Wildcats on Saturday. And then came Sunday. The Bears jumped out to a 6-0 lead early before putting up a remarkable 17 runs in the 5th inning alone, without Kansas State even recording an out. It snaps a 36-year-old record for most runs scored in an inning by a Baylor team. The final score landed at 23-3, with the Bears winning their 4th straight series in Big 12 play. And the Baylor softball team hit the road for the Big 12 tournament. The team was swept by Texas and was unable to score a run. And welcome to Waco, Baylor football landed commit number 10 of the 2022 class through 6'6", 310-pound lineman Bryce Simpson. Cy Ranch standout is a 3-star athlete. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
The Jeep Celebration event at Allen Samuels has special pricing on the new 2021 Jeep Renegade Latitude with total values up to $5,250 or 0% for 84 months. Or a special deal on a new 2021 Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid Limited with total values of $7,000 or 0% for 72 months. It's the Jeep Celebration event at Allen Samuels, the best place to find your new vehicle. Located at 201 West Loop 340 in Waco.
Come by. Let's be friends.
See dealer for details. All offers have credit requirements.
Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness was built to help give you a chance to enjoy elite tennis facilities and also remain fit or reshape your body. Now Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness has gone through its own physical changes. There are 7 large flat screens stretched across the main and improved weight room with Wi-Fi available and their own app to enjoy news, business, weather, or sports channels. The beautiful sound of active treadmills and elliptical machines, group exercise classes throughout each day, a new ballet bar for bar classes, a new look lounge and bar with beer and wine with more large flat screens screens available, touchless water fountains outside each spacious men's and women's locker rooms, showers, sauna, and whirlpool. Upgraded PA system throughout the world-class tennis courts and lessons for adults and juniors. I promise you'll look and feel better. You just need to walk through the front door. Also, Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness with personal trainers Christy London and Randall Corley. 40-plus group exercise classes, including twice-a-week boot camp. So start today, not tomorrow, at Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness on Lakeshore Drive in Waco.
In the market for a quality metal building? Since 1943, Pioneer Steel and Pipe has helped Central Texas residential and commercial customers with metal building design, panel options, building components, and trim options. Pioneer Steel and Pipe's residential line is energy efficient, offers low maintenance, reduces insurance payments, is impact resistant, and carries up to a 45-year limited warranty. In addition, they can also help you find a metal building contractor for your project. Pioneer Steel and Pipe with locations in Waco and Bryan and at pioneersboys.com.
At Ideal MRI, we feel blessed to be part of the Waco community. We're a small family business here in Central Texas. At times like this, the cost of healthcare has never been more important. And unfortunately, significant illnesses and injuries still occur. And that's why Ideal MRI is open and here to serve you through this difficult time. So if you need an MRI, ask your doctor about Ideal MRI. You can schedule online in minutes at idealmri.com or call 833-IDEAL-MRI.
Don Humidor, your home with a 48-foot walk-in humidor with the elite cigar brands from around the world, including the #1 cigar of the year, Aging Room Cuatro Nicaragua. Plus, they have the great brands like Macanudo and Artur Fuente, Rocky Patel, Aston, and so much more. CBD, great for sore muscles, aches and pains, sleep, Vita Dreams, and anxiety, mild depression, general health and wellness. Their staff very knowledgeable on the subject. If anyone is curious about CBD, ask Carol and Ashley. Don Humidor in the Townwest Shopping Center off Valley Mills in Waco.
At Baylor University, students find their place to shine. They're faithful friends and inspirational leaders. They're championship teammates and independent thinkers. They're on the cutting edge of high tech and in the halls of history. If you want to make the world a brighter place, you can. And if you want to shine in your own way, you can. The spark you need is already inside you. Bring it to Baylor, where lights shine bright.
I got breaking news here. We got Western Athletic Conference just announced they're adding several schools.
The WAC.
The WAC.
Okay.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
I think Coach Gundy would be like my guy that I would just like just a hair. Yeah. I just want to be able to see it flow when I kind of slam his arm down.
Here's Drake Toll.
And welcome back into the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. Happy Monday, everybody. I said it earlier, I'll say it again. There's no way to have a case of the Mondays when Baylor baseball just runs through the gamut this past weekend. I mean, it destroys everybody. And when, even more importantly, Baylor men's tennis punches their ticket to the national quarterfinals in Orlando. And now we have joining the show Baylor tennis assistant Izak Vander Merwe. That's right. Say it 10 times fast. So, Coach, first and foremost, thank you for coming on the show today. Pleasure to have you.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Drake.
Absolutely. So from Johannesburg, South Africa, to Old Dominion to play college tennis, then around the world as a professional tennis player, to Waco, Texas as an assistant, and now to Orlando, Florida in the NCAA quarterfinals. Coach, you're just traveling everywhere.
Tennis is definitely an international sport, and it's a sport that you got to get ready to travel for. Lots of tournaments all over the place. So this is just another day in the life of, tennis players or tennis coaches, ready to jump on a plane and get down to Orlando, or, some people call it the swamp, to go play some tennis.
Coach, for you, a part of the ATP World Tour for 9, almost 10 years, looking at as high as 113 in the world in singles. I mean, you had an illustrious playing career. What made you, for those that don't know, what made you decide to coach the sport once you were done playing?
After I got done on the professional circuit, I I went back to grad school. I always wanted to go back to business school. And, I spent 2 years up at UTD. And then I worked a little bit in the corporate world for a couple of years. But then, I realized where, in college tennis, coaching is really something that was on the back of my mind, even when I was outside of tennis. And I was always thinking, something that I might want to go back to. And, after a couple of years away from the sport, after playing, I decided I'm ready to kind of put on my coaching hat and get back into coaching. And, when I was at Old Dominion as a 17-year-old, that was really the platform and the stepping stone for me to go on to the professional tour. And those coaches at Old Dominion, just spent a lot of time with me on the court, helping me grow as a player, as a person, becoming mentally and more physically mature. Did a lot of work there. And I think, I just decided that's what I want to do with my next chapter in my life. And I want to give back to young tennis players that are in those shoes, that want to, play high-level tennis, that want to be at the top of college tennis, and then hopefully give themselves a chance to, even go beyond that and maybe go on to the professional tour. And I knew Baylor. It was a powerhouse tennis program, and that's when I got involved here in 2018, and it's been an absolute blast. But, that's kind of, just what my coaches meant to me is kind of the driving factor why I want to be involved with these Baylor Bears and the tennis program here, and be able to give back in that way,
Coach, along with that, coming from South Africa originally, all the way to Baylor University as an assistant coach, why Baylor? What has been the draw for you to Baylor?
First it's a Christian university, and so it really fits my belief system. So that's first of all a huge plus for me. I was based in Dallas before, so it wasn't too far away from Dallas. That was another positive. But then, over the years, Baylor's built a powerhouse they've been a powerhouse in tennis. When I played college tennis at Old Dominion, we had guys like Benjamin Becker, Benedict Dorst, who were, the top players in college tennis. They won a national championship. So I knew about Baylor way back when I was playing college, and I knew how good this program was. And credit to the coaches that came before us, that built this program, and also the players. Those guys did a phenomenal job, putting Baylor on the map in terms of tennis. And so there was a lot of things that drew me to Baylor, and it's been awesome.
Izak, for you, looking at your career at Baylor, started as a volunteer assistant coach. Then you get the phone call that you'd be promoted to an assistant coach, officially on staff. What did that mean to you, that promotion to, work for Baylor University?
Yeah, when I first came to Baylor, like you mentioned, I was a volunteer, and that was an interesting dynamic, not knowing if you're going to be here for the next year. But I really wanted to commit, for a couple of years here and get to know the players really well and build that trust between coach and player. And that doesn't happen overnight. I think you need a couple of years to do that. And after year two, it was just kind of an evolving process. And the longer I stayed here, the more I loved it. And the more I loved the relationships that I built with the players and with Michael Woodson as well. And, then, getting the call was a dream come true. It was kind of unexpected, but I was very happy to be able to go full time here at Baylor and even dig in more to kind of put your, put a stake in the ground and say, hey, this is where I want to be for the foreseeable future. And it's been great. The relationships built between the coaches, the staff, the athletic department, the players, it's been wonderful. And that's one of the beauties of college sports and coaching at college sports. You build these relationships with the players over the course of 4 years, and you see them grow, from freshmen to seniors. And now it's going to be, next year will be my 4th year here. So I will see some of those players that started out young and kind of grew up and become, great young men and also phenomenal tennis players. And that's a really rewarding part. That's the rewarding part of being a college coach, I think, just seeing these guys kind of go through different phases, and you can kind of look back and say, hey, you were struggling with something over here, and we worked really hard for 6 months, 8 months, and look where you are now, and look at that improvement. And that's a really satisfying process to be in, and also for a coach, like the players kind of help us become better coaches. That's a cool thing about the job. And being assistant, you're gonna be here for the long term, and you can build those relationships and make an impact.
I got a text last night, Coach, from the Tennis SID Max that says, you included, everybody that's associated with this tennis team, you represent 10 different countries from around the world with this tennis program. From your perspective, someone being international, growing up in South Africa, now being in the United States, being in Waco, being at Baylor, how have you been able to use that international perspective to help a lot of these guys who come from different countries to play tennis at Baylor?
Yeah, I think it's for some cultures, it's a bit of a shock, coming to the US. Things are very different. People are different, in different parts of the world. The language is different. The food is different. There's so many things that are different. And when you first arrive at 17, it's a lot to take in. And then you have academics, and you have tennis, and you have coaches that are kind of on you to perform. And so there's a lot going on with these youngsters. And I just think that the perspective from an international always helps, with guys coming from internationally. And like you mentioned, we have a bunch of different countries being represented on our team. And, that's how tennis is. It's an international sport. And, we obviously look to recruit from all over. And there's a big pool of tennis players, not just in the US. And that's a big focus of ours, but internationally as well. And I think just having a little bit of that international experience, also just having been in their shoes as a young freshman at college, trying to maximize his potential as a tennis player, and understanding the dynamics that's going on and how to manage all the things between language barriers and culture and all that. I think it helps. You can kind of empathize with the players when they're having a tough time, and you can be a little bit more patient. So I think it brings a nice flavor to our team to be a little international. Sometimes we even talk about international sports, and they can relate to that a little bit, maybe a little rugby, a little cricket, with the Aussies or with the Brits, so I know we can get into that a little bit. And so that's nice. That's nice to do. And, but I love the fact that we have a really diverse group of players on our team. And I think it's good for, I definitely think it creates a great experience for the Americans as well, to get people from other countries to learn about their cultures and vice versa, so it's a really cool thing about college sports and college tennis for sure.
Well, Coach, you don't get in a lot of different sports. So that's one of the things that I love about tennis is the fact that there are so many guys. You have a fraternity of guys from different countries that can learn different cultures and different backgrounds. And I want to take you now to this season, that group of guys that you've compiled. I mean, you're looking at a small nucleus of transfers that came to Baylor to help compete for a national championship this season, that have meshed into a program that had already solidified itself as a national powerhouse. How has this team come together this season to now be successful enough to make it into the final 16 remaining squads in the nation?
Yeah, no, Drake, that's a great question. And it was a very interesting dynamic that we had. And like you said, we had these grad transfers coming in, but I think credit to the coaching staff and recruiting the players and, learning about the players beforehand and understanding their mindsets and how, selfless these guys are. They are coming in here into a completely different program, and they had to really adapt quickly and kind of buy into the culture. And they did that. They definitely bought into the culture very early on. All our transfers were here in the fall, and we spent a lot of time with them, kind of integrating them into the team, into the kind of training program regime that we had. And the guys got really close. And I would say this is one of the closest teams I've been a part of in my playing career, and as well as here at Baylor. These guys are very close. They've put the team first always, And that is really fun to see, because we do have a lot of high-level players, and some of them will go on and play professional tennis beyond. But for now, they are putting the team first, and they will do anything for each other, So it's really cool to see, and cool to see how those guys took that culture to heart and really bought in real quick, And I think that's just a testament to how well they've done this season. We couldn't have done it if they didn't buy in early. So credit to them, and we're lucky to have them.
Coach, along with that, not just players, but the staff as well. Coach Michael Woodson now, as of less than a week ago, being named the head coach of the Baylor tennis program, moved from interim to officially the head guy who's going to lead this program. How big is that? What does that mean to you to have Michael Woodson as the head tennis coach here at the university?
Yeah, and Drake, I can't be happier to work with Michael. And I told him earlier this season, as we started having some success, and I can't think of a better person to be on this journey with, than Michael and him leading the squad, and me being a part of that. I mean, I'm very, very grateful. We spent, when I was a volunteer, Michael was the assistant for those 2 years, and we worked very closely together. And I think that's where we built up the trust in each other, and also the skills we bring to the table. I think we complement each other really well. And Michael, for being a young coach, he's very experienced. He's been coaching for a long time, and just brings a lot to the table in all aspects, on the court, on the coaching. When we get into the X's and O's, he's phenomenal. But then also just managing the program, and this first year, I think he's done a phenomenal job, and I'm sure the rest of Baylor knows that as well. And we won't go into all the details, but he's done a great job, and the guys are super comfortable and very happy that he's going to stick around for the long term, as am I, So I can't be happier to work with Michael, and I see great things for this program under his reign here, So very, very cool that announcement was made before we kicked off the NCAA tournament. I think it set the tone for us and for the team, and we're ready to kind of go to war for him.
Wow. Izak, with that, Coach Woodson, this team, everything put together, ranked 15th at one point in time this season. I mean, not a lot of folks in the nation had pegged Baylor to, whether it be a host school or pegged Baylor to be a national championship contender. The talk just wasn't really there. No one was confident in how this roster would come together. Fast forward, number one team in the country in the ITA rankings, number 2 overall going into the postseason, and now going into this past weekend. It seems like it's all come together compared to where this season started.
Yeah, we talk about it in the locker room, about the controllables and uncontrollables. And honestly, we never doubted 1 minute how good this team can be, and each of these guys in the locker room never doubted the guy next to them, So we've put our heads down, the 15 rank, when that came out at the beginning of the season, that kind of motivated us, that really motivated us to go and prove them wrong, but we knew that we didn't need to make a big deal out of that because, our rackets will do the talking on the court. And the guys worked really hard, and we are not surprised at where we're at, and we got still some work to do. We want to, prove the ITA wrong in terms of, that seeding, and we're going to work really hard to get that, So a couple more matches, and we'll be there.
Coach, with this past weekend, hosting the first and second rounds of the NCAA tournament, obviously the pressure's on. It's win or go home, win or stay home, I should say. And you get Corpus Christi in round 1, who's a fantastic team. They played really well through their conference. Not only that, you get Oregon, who's a national brand, in round 2. Take me through this past weekend where you guys punched a ticket to Orlando.
Yeah, not an easy weekend. We had a lot of wind on Saturday when we played Corpus Christi, and as anybody that's been to Corpus Christi knows, that's a windy place, So these guys were really comfortable in those conditions, and I think our team stepped up to the plate and they did what needed to be done to get through that match, and it was really good. We were impressed with the mental effort by the boys. And then on Sunday, playing Oregon, who just knocked off Alabama, who's a really good team as well. And Oregon, has some good wins, versus Stanford earlier in the season in the Pac-12. So they're a good team. We know that they have a lot of belief in themselves to knock off really good tennis teams. Stanford's a good team. And so we came up and started really fast in that match. We won the doubles point. So that kind of set the tone for us. And, then we had a bit of a weather situation midway through the singles. So we were up 1-0. And there was a lightning strike during the match, and we had to take a break for about 45 minutes, and then they moved the match indoors. And usually that favors the team that's behind. We had a lot of momentum at that time on a lot of courts, and that would have probably favored Oregon a little bit. But the guys were ready for it. They came out at the indoors and they started quick and they put their foot down and they played like the home team and the higher seed, and I'm very impressed because those are the kind of things that will happen in the postseason. Rain will happen in Florida and then you'll have to move indoors or, tricky things happen. And I think the way the guys responded to it, how they came out was very, very good to see. And I think that's a testament to the maturity on our team and the belief that they have in their games. So I was very impressed and we're happy to get through that weekend. Could have been a lot tougher. We made it easy on ourselves by just taking care of our business and controlling what we can control. So very impressed with the guys and looking forward to getting to Orlando and starting to feel the conditions, feel the heat, humidity, and get ready for tough matches down there.
Getting ready for the swamp, Coach. I know round one, you've got a full circle. Number 2 team in the country now for Baylor. You're facing the number 15 team in the nation, right where these guys started, where the Baylor team started out this season. Got Ole Miss coming up on the docket. I know it's still, you found that out about less than 24 hours ago, but any early analysis on what to expect in round one? Ole Miss, SEC school, we haven't played them since I've been here at Baylor, so not very familiar with their players, but, we have all the data and we go through their results and do the usual nitty gritty, for preparation, and we'll get some scouts going. But for the most part, it's going to be about our preparation and, how well we can prepare for that match and then just kind of believe in ourselves. And I think if the Baylor Bears, come out and play their best tennis, it's going to be really tough to stop us, but we're going to have to prepare well and just get ready for a tough match because none of these matches from now on is going to be easy. Guys are going to really dig deep and just be unwilling to lose, so to speak. So we're looking forward to a tough one and we will just kind of focus on ourselves and see what Mississippi has and we'll bring our best on Monday. Coach, last question here for you. You've competed on the national scale as an individual in professional tennis. And then as a coach, you've seen some really great teams already here at Baylor, and you've played for great teams at Old Dominion. What does it take? What is it going to take for this team to make a run at a national championship this season?
Yeah, Drake, that's a good question. There's so few teams that actually have the privilege to lift the trophy at the end of the season. In the history of tennis, there's only a handful of universities that have accomplished that, Baylor being one of them. I think, honestly, it's gonna take a huge effort. It's gonna take guys, playing for each other. It's gonna basically take guys to prepare as well as they can and looking at the small things. Most of the hard work has been done. We've gotten into great shape. We've hit 1 million tennis balls this semester, like all these other teams. Most of the hard work has been done. Now it comes down to the small things. How well do you prepare? Are you eating? Are you fueling correctly? Always all these small things that kind of add up, to something substantial. And then at the end of the day, I think the team that's going to be the closest, that's willing to go the extra mile on the court when things get tough, I think that's going to be the big deciding factor in this NCAA tournament. I see a lot of parity around, with the teams. It's really tough to pick a winner, so it's going to come down to guys really competing just out competing each other, in the biggest moments, in the pressure moments. There's always like these 30-minute spans in these college tennis matches. Although you have 6 matches going on at the same time, there's usually a 30-minute period where the match hinges. It's like kind of like a tipping point. And whoever digs in those moments and can get the match and the momentum to swing their way in those tipping point moments, those are the teams that kind of survive, and I think that's what we're going to focus on, making sure we outcompete the other teams and just believe in ourselves. These guys have put in so much hard work. The times we were doing fitness, and we asking them to push themselves, and they don't want it because, it's hot, and it's tough, and guys are, close to the brink, and we kind of pushing them just a little further. That's what they're going to look back at and say, hey, I've done the hard work and I can survive out here. It's going to be hard and humid, but they're going to believe in themselves because they've put in the work, they've prepared well. And I think the team that can kind of dig in and tap into that kind of energy reserve and that kind of belief system and playing for each other, that's the team that's going to come out on top at the end of the day there in Florida. So I'm looking forward to doing that with the Bears,
Coach, last question for you, and I want to thank you for coming on the show today and giving us your perspective. I love getting assistant coaches or those that don't usually get a voice in sports locally, but the fact that you're able to bring this perspective today is very much appreciated. And I want to know, our Bear Games question of the day today is, the Baylor baseball team put up 17 runs in an inning yesterday. Just absolutely, like, there are moments in sports. I remember myself, I was coaching a little league basketball team, and we were down, I think, like 19-0 at halftime, where it's not only is it just sad how bad you're losing, but it goes from being sad to just, I don't even know how to feel anymore. We're asking today, considering how demoralizing it was yesterday that Kansas State allowed 17 runs in an inning, what is the most demoralizing loss that you've been a part of? The one where it was past sad?
Personally, in a team environment or just as an individual?
As an individual, as a part of a team, as a fan, anything that you've got, we'll take.
Yeah, I mean, I played Davis Cup in South Africa once, big stage, and I went down pretty convincingly against top 10 player in the world, and I had some injuries that I was dealing with and things, but that was pretty demoralizing. I mean, I felt like nothing I could do out there is working, and the scoreline was pretty one-sided and very one-sided. To be honest. But I think playing Davis Cup against Croatia, that was the country we played against. And tough day for me on the tennis court. But the good thing is I turned it around, and my next Davis Cup tie, I did really well, and it didn't affect me. I kind of put it behind me. But I do remember that day in 2011. It was a pretty tough day for me, and went down, hard and couldn't contribute to the team. So that was kind of a tough one. But, sometimes that happens, and you just got to live with it and move on to the next one. It's always going to be a next match, so.
There you go. Hey, you're very far removed. You're very far removed from that, and now on the cusp of possibly a national championship. So I'm glad to see that you made it out. Coach Izak, thanks so much for joining the show today. Like I said, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thanks a lot, Drake. Thanks for having me, and SicEm Bears.
I love it. Izak Merwe joining the show of Baylor men's tennis, talking about their track to the postseason and continue postseason play. When we come back from this break, also breaking news, Tim Tebow has signed a one-year contract as a tight end with the Jaguars. So Tim Tebow is going to play for Urban Meyer as a Jaguar in the NFL. Tim Tebow back to the league. That breaking from Ian Rappaport. When we come back, we're going to talk about Baylor baseball. We'll show some highlights from the Baylor baseball game and open up the Kim Mulkey mailbag because she issued an apology, and I am very opinionated on old Kim Mulkey's apology. Too little, too late? ? Well, we'll talk about it. I'm Drake Toll. We're joined by Marquise Cooley and Hayden Bumpus on the show today in studio as well. And Armstrong Sims is producing the old thing from the mothership. When we come back, it's Kim Mulkey, it's Baylor baseball, and it's sports. Don't go anywhere. This is Up Tempo.
They're still dancing. Michael Whitson and the Baylor men's tennis team dominated the field in rounds 1 and 2 of the NCAA tournament in Waco over the weekend. The team started by absolutely routing Texas A&M Corpus Christi 4-0 on Saturday before sweeping number 37 Oregon 4-0 on Sunday. Even with a 70-minute lightning delay and a move from outdoors to indoors in Sunday's match, the team was unstoppable. The squad now advances to the Sweet 16 of the tournament that will take place in Orlando, along with other final rounds. The number 2 Bears will meet 15-seed Ole Miss at noon on May 17th. In women's tennis, the Lady Bears took care of business in round 1 of the NCAA tournament in Waco by beating Texas A&M Corpus Christi 4-0, but fell in round 2 against Duke 4-3. The team finishes the season ranked 8th in the nation with a 24-5 record. Over to baseball, the Bears were unbelievable over the weekend. Literally, the team jumped on Kansas State in Waco on Friday, a 17-2 win before falling in what was a tight game early that ended 10-3 in favor of the Wildcats on Saturday. And then came Sunday. The Bears jumped out to a 6-0 lead early before putting up a remarkable 17 runs in the 5th inning alone, without Kansas State even recording an out. It snaps a 36-year-old record for most runs scored in an inning by a Baylor team. The final score landed at 23-3, with the Bears winning their 4th straight series in Big 12 play. And the Baylor softball team hit the road for the Big 12 tournament. The team was swept by Texas and was unable to score a run. And welcome to Waco, Baylor football landed commit number 10 of the 2022 class through 6'6", 310-pound lineman Bryce Simpson. Cy Ranch standout is a 3-star athlete. I'm Armstrong Sins, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up-Tempo.
From the first workout to the last practice, sports is an incredible and rewarding challenge. Hi, everyone. This is Dan Ingham with the First National Bank of Central Texas, and we're proud to support each athlete, every parent, and our educators. From families, small businesses, to the biggest industry, we're here to help. With remarkable products like mortgage lending, we've got banking ideas that fuel big dreams. The First National Bank of Central Texas. Familiar faces making local decisions.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Do you or your kids get nervous about going to the dentist? Stonewood Dental, Dr. Steve Childress, he can help.
I've spent a career taking care of patients who as children had bad experiences, and now they're adults that hate going to the dentist. If I get a kid at 3 years old and they come every 6 months and it's a happy experience, it's normal for them. Now they have an accident at 6 or 7 or 8 at school. Now they have a broken tooth or a trauma, and they have to come here. They're used to lights, they're used to water in their mouth, they're used to experience, they already trust us. It's amazing what we can do with that kid without it being a negative thing. But if I see a 6 or 7 or 8 year old that's never been to the dentist, and now they have a trauma or an unfortunate unexpected toothache, it's harder to do that for that kid and it not be somewhat of a negative experience. So bottom line is I try to teach kids and adults and teenagers and everybody the way I'd want my family treated, which is where it's a necessary part of life. You just take care of it. It doesn't have to be that big a deal.
Learn more, stonewood-dental.com.
Born in Waco, Brotherwell Brewing exists to serve the Central Texas community with locally crafted beer of the highest quality. They want to bring Central Texas closer to the brewing experience so everyone can enjoy well-made beer as much as they do. For 2.5 years, they've been bringing high-quality beer to Central Texas at their location on Bridge Street in East Waco. Brotherwell Brewing believes in community and bringing people together to enjoy products made in their community. So for your game day, whether it's a tailgate or at home, stop by Brotherwell Brewing for high-quality craft beer made right here in Central Texas, 400 East Bridge Street, and check them out online at brotherwell.com.
Let Camille Johnson Realtors guide you seamlessly through the process of buying your dream home or selling your current one. Commercial, farm and ranch, or residential, Camille Johnson Realtors can smoothly and successfully lead you through any transaction. With a team of 28 experienced agents who are excited about serving you, Camille Johnson Realtors services the entire greater Waco area. If you're in the market to buy or sell, contact Camille Johnson Realtors, 104 Midway Center in Woodway, or find them online at www.camillejohnson.com. Camille Johnson Realtors, elegant, charming, warm. Welcome home.
Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, the team physician of Baylor Athletics. Our doctors specialize in the diagnosis and treatment of any and all sports-related injuries. Celebrating over a decade of service in Central Texas, our doctors are equipped to handle a wide range of issues, whether it's your foot or ankle, orthopedic spine care, your hand or wrist, knee and shoulder pain, or if you're in need of our arthritis or total joint clinic. Come see us at the new Baylor Scott and White Ted and Sue Getterman Sports and Orthopedic Center. Trusted doctors at Baylor Trust, Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. Our goal is to get you back in the game.
Texas Farm Bureau Insurance has protected fellow Texans with auto, home, health, and life insurance since 1952. With more than 260,000 square miles of land and 27 million people, that's a lot to cover. Whether you're wrangling cattle or wrangling kids, we're proud to protect Texans in all Texan ways of life.
Stop by and see our agents at one of our 3 McLennan County locations.
Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Now back to the Bears Den with Drake Toll for a Baylor take on your lunch break.
Welcome back into the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. Happy Monday, everybody. Feels good. Feels good today. It's not even, there's no Monday lull. I know I keep saying it, but I can't say it now. I can't reiterate enough the fact that there is zero Monday lull today. Baylor baseball is just whipping up on everyone. Like, it's just not even fair what Baylor baseball is doing to folks right now. Baylor softball got swept, but that's okay, because that's fine, by Texas. A tough series. They're still going to the postseason. They're going to go to the Big 12 tournament, and they're going to end up playing in the NCAA tournament. They'll be a 2 or 3 seed. They got a chance to beat up on somebody. They'll find a way. Maybe they'll go up to Fayetteville. I think Arkansas, they got a good shot to beat Arkansas if they go on up there. On top of that, you got tennis. Men's tennis is going to Orlando. Women's tennis wraps up a solid season, and we opened up a mailbag. I flippin' love mailbags, man. I know, I get it. There are a lot of folks on this mailbag. This mailbag says, Mulkey said bye, what say you? Oh, interesting. It's somewhere around 8 o'clock in the morning of Mother's Day. Seriously weird timing in general. Kim Mulkey officially addressed Baylor Nation on social media for the first time. Is this a loving goodbye? This is what I'm asking. Is this meant to stir up dust after it's plenty settled? Is this butter? Boy, do I have some thoughts on this, and boy, do I want to get yours. What was your reaction? I'll take any questions, comments, concerns. Read it on the air tomorrow. Very, very pumped to unpack this one. Tenacious D says, meh, I'm burned out on the Mulkey stuff. The new chapter of Baylor women's basketball has already begun, and I think we're done looking back and are now looking forward. Thanks for everything, Kim. Good luck finishing it out at LSU. Boom! I love it. I love it. Tenacious D. That's exactly what I like. Like, it doesn't matter anymore. Who gives a flying rip? What's the point at that point? What's the point at this point? It's like, yeah, I'm gone now. Bye. But also, I've been gone for a while, and I think I'm ready to say goodbye now. Like, what? Yeah, would this have been any different? Like, would she have worded this any different had this happened 2 weeks ago? JD made the comment, I think he's right. It's very much like, this is very much a time where you announce this before Baylor hires a new head coach. You don't let the dust settle and you're like, they're not talking about me anymore. I should probably say goodbye now. Maybe then they'll remember me. Like, no. Dude, no. It's done. It's over. There's not really a point. Leonidas says, I say we should be talking about anything other than the former coach. How about baseball, football recruiting, tennis, current women's basketball coach, any other issue involving current incoming players? Yeah, I agree. We got to a lot of tennis today, which was good. A lot of baseball tomorrow, a lot of football recruiting. Let this one lie, says Boo in my blood. Alan says, as I said on Twitter, reminded me of when my mom reminded me I needed to write a thank you note. Snarky person in me wonders if we lose in the Elite Eight or Final Four, if she will congratulate us on doing what she did, almost doing what she did 3 times. So a lot of this stuff goes on hey, does it matter that this came out? I mean, the White Rock says there's never a bad time to take the high road. That's a great point. Hey, you got a great chance for her to say goodbye and say her piece and give a little. It was a fun ride, Baylor Nation. I'm moving on. I'm sailing away, a la Styx. And was this the right time? I don't think so. I think the timing, the wording, hey, I did a lot of great things with your help, fans. I couldn't have won those national championships without you, the fans. It's the taking something that's so far extended and away from a topic, so far and extended away from a happening, and then trying to put that thing in the middle of it so that the spotlight is poured more on you. Like hey, I'm going to humbly do this. I'm going to humbly put credit toward what I did at a place by thanking someone that was vaguely irrelevant in the thing. So like hey, Mom, I know like you got me a bike because I did the dishes, but thank you for helping me do the dishes when she didn't. Like, it was your thing that you did, and you're thanking someone that was so far extended. Like, thank you, Mom, for birthing me. I could not have done all of the dishes that I did so well had you not birthed me. Is you bringing attention to the fact that you did the dishes, but being humble by thanking your mom for birthing you and having some vague hand in you doing the dishes is exactly what we have here. Is hey, thank you, fans, for all that you have done. I could never have done this without you. Won 3 national championships, had All-Americans, and had great recruiting classes and sold out the Farrell Center. I guess it's a good point. Baylor baseball. Let's get to what really matters. Baylor baseball shatters a record 23-3 victory over Kansas State in 7 innings. It was a mercy rule on Sunday. Before that, they had a big win on Friday. I want to get to the highlights of that. Friday's win, Baylor against Kansas State. Check these out. So I think it's old John Morris on the call Friday afternoon on ESPN Plus when Baylor baseball took down Kansas State with 17 runs in the game. Check this out from Friday at Baylor Ballpark. Friday, it's the 7th, May 7th. It's in the Google Drive.
Texas, Waco, Texas. It's Big 12 baseball as the Kansas State Wildcats take on the Baylor Bears.
Kind of two in the same, very crafty pitchers that can throw off speed anytime.
There's a shot deep to right field. That one is floating in the Brazos River. Andy Thomas, home run number 8 on the season.
Does not want to give it to McKenzie, though.
It's this one to center field. That ball's carrying well. That ball is gone. A 3-run home run off the bat of Jared McKenzie. Game against Hunter McCullough. It's this one hard to right. That one is gone. A line drive out of the ballpark. A 2-run shot off the bat of Jack Pineda. Lost tonight, 8-0 to Texas. That one is grabbed out of the air by Trey Richardson. Goodwin hits it in the air into right field. Downey drifts back, makes the catch. Tagging at second. Moving on to third. And the play is at second base, and they got him out. 2-2 swinging, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts by Hayden Kettler here in the 6th. 1-2 count here. Frenchie sends it in the air. Shallow center field. Sliding in. Catch is made by Jared McKenzie. Good one aboard. Dylan Phillips to the plate. That one gloved at shortstop. The play to second. They get the out.
Just gets great jumps on ball.
Garinchi sends a fly ball to right field. Davion Downey is there. Makes the catch. And that is the ball game. Baylor scores early and often on this night. They win the series opener over the Kansas State Wildcats. 17-2 the final.
That from Friday, Baylor knocking off Kansas State. They lost on Saturday. Cam Cayley did a great job. Freshman pitcher did a great job in his first start. COVID issues have plagued that team, but they fought back from a lot of it to be able to come out and make it happen on Friday and then make it happen again on Sunday. So they got the series victory. Would have been nice to sweep. They'd be 10-8 in Big 12 play on top of Texas Tech in the standings, but that's all right. Baylor scored early and often. They were up 6-0 going into the 5th inning. And that's when they said, hey, let's make a little bit of history. 17 runs before Kansas State scored a single out. And then they went 3 up, 3 down after the 17 runs, actually. That is the most runs in an inning that Baylor has ever scored. The second most, 14 against Houston, April 19th, 1985. Previous record for runs scored for Baylor in a single inning against a Big 12 opponent was 12, twice against Texas Tech in 2005 and 2007. Big 12 record in runs scored in a conference game. Largest margin of victory for Baylor against a Big 12 opponent since 2009. Largest margin of victory in any Big 12 game since Oklahoma defeated Kansas State in 2009. Tied the most runs scored against a Big 12 opponent in program history and scored a program record 17 runs in the 5th inning. Check out highlights from what can only be described as a bonkers Sunday.
There's a strikeout.
A 17-2 defeat, and they fought back. Fighting right there.
K-State beat Tech 2 out of 3 at home.
Richardson drives that one into center field. Fowler goes back, can't get it off the wall. Coming around to score will be McKenzie. 2-2 pitch. Pineda over the outstretched arms of Thomas. Coming around to score is Nevin. Hit back up the middle, and it gets by Willman. That'll score a couple runs. Struck out looking his first appearance. Pineda with the hot hand. Thomas deep to right field. Back goes Prochaska into the grasses.
That's what happens when you try to go inside. Instead, he gets a single again.
And that drives in a run. The hit parade for Cardoza Oquendo continues. 3-2 pitch. Hit sharply back up the middle. Coming over is Goodwin. Can't get a play done. That was not the high character thing to do. McKenzie beats one into right field. Baylor continues to run it up on Kansas State.
Virginia Tech, and he has been around.
Richardson. As the Bears continue to round the bases.
If they ever get back out there, it's going to be that, this has been a long inning. That ball's hit.
And that's a long ball. Second time over the right field wall goes into Thomas for today. Drives that one into right field. That'll score a couple runs. Timor ahead in the count once again. Thomas, base hit. One run will score. Pineda. Coming around to score also is McKenzie. While we were away, abruptly, the game came to an end. Baylor will win this game 23-3. We talked about it before the start of the game. The game time was moved up to noon because the fact that Kansas State had to get on the road and get out of here, Pat.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. 17 runs in 1 inning. Have mercy. They did, literally. Ended in the 7th inning. I'm Drake Toll. Joined today by Marquise Cooley and Hayden Bumpus. Armstrong Sims producing it. When we come back, celebrity birthdays, this day in sports history. Don't go anywhere. This is Uptempo.
They're still dancing. Michael Whitson and the Baylor men's tennis team dominated the field in rounds 1 and 2 of the NCAA tournament in Waco over the weekend. The team started by absolutely routing Texas A&M Corpus Christi 4-0 on Saturday before sweeping number 37 Oregon 4-0 on Sunday. Even with a 70-minute lightning delay and a move from outdoors to indoors in Sunday's match, the team was unstoppable. The squad now advances to the Sweet 16 of the tournament that will take place in Orlando, along with other final rounds. The number 2 Bears will meet 15-seed Ole Miss at noon on May 17th. In women's tennis, the Lady Bears took care of business in round 1 of the NCAA tournament in Waco by beating Texas A&M Corpus Christi 4-0, but fell in round 2 against Duke 4-3. The team finishes the season ranked 8th in the nation with a 24-5 record. Over to baseball, the Bears were unbelievable over the weekend. Literally, the team jumped on Kansas State in Waco on Friday, a 17-2 win before falling in what was a tight game early that ended 10-3 in favor of the Wildcats on Saturday. And then came Sunday. The Bears jumped out to a 6-0 lead early before putting up a remarkable 17 runs in the 5th inning alone, without Kansas State even recording an out. It snaps a 36-year-old record for most runs scored in an inning by a Baylor team. The final score landed at 23-3, with the Bears winning their 4th straight series in Big 12 play. And the Baylor softball team hit the road for the Big 12 tournament. The team was swept by Texas and was unable to score a run. And welcome to Waco, Baylor football landed commit number 10 of the 2022 class through 6'6", 310-pound lineman Bryce Simpson. Cy Ranch standout is a 3-star athlete. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. It's been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Uptempo.
With so many companies and policies out there, it gets so confusing shopping for insurance, and I never know if I'm getting the policy that's right for me. Luckily, I met the team at the Niche Group Insurance Agency. With the Niche Group, you can go to one company and get access to coverage options from many insurance carriers, and you get to speak to a real person about your specific coverage needs. With the Niche Group, I know I'm getting the right coverage at the right price. If you need insurance, talk to the experts at the Niche Group at 1-800-258-8302.
At Marco's Pizza, get craveable pizza made the Italian way with dough made from scratch, an original sauce recipe, 3 fresh signature cheeses, and premium toppings you love, served hot and safe. Right now, you can get unlimited medium one-topping pizzas for just $6.99 each. Why stop at just one? Order with your app or at marcos.com for curbside, carryout, or delivery today. Marco's, pizza lovers get it.
From the first workout to the last practice, sports is an incredible challenge. Hi, this is Dan Ingham with the First National Bank of Central Texas, and we're proud to support each athlete, every parent, and our educators. From families, small businesses, to the biggest industry, we're here to help. With remarkable products like instant issue debit cards free at all of our banking centers, we've got banking ideas that fuel big dreams. The First National Bank of Central Texas. Familiar faces making local decisions.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Riverbend Liquor and Wine has their easy-to-access drive-thru open and convenient and clean in-store location on the corner of Lakeshore Drive and North 19th Street in Waco. Riverbend Liquor has the best and most extensive variety of craft beer selections in Waco, and Balcones whiskey, including single malt, pot still, baby blue, rye, brimstone, and the all-new Lineage in stock. Riverbend Liquor and Wine, family-owned and operated, and a hidden gem in Waco on Lakeshore Drive and 19th Street. And find out more on Facebook and Instagram.
Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, the team physician of Baylor Athletics. Our doctors specialize in the diagnosis and treatment of any and all sports-related injuries. Celebrating over a decade of service in Central Texas, our doctors are equipped to handle a wide range of issues, whether it's your foot or ankle, orthopedic spine care, your hand or wrist, knee and shoulder pain, or if you're in need of our arthritis or total joint clinic. Come see us at the new Baylor Scott and White Ted and Sue Getterman Sports and Orthopedic Center. Trusted doctors at Baylor Trust, Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. Our goal is to get you back in the game.
With more than 160,000 alumni worldwide and counting, the Baylor family is growing. And through the university's expanded Baylor alumni program, the family is growing closer. With hundreds of local volunteers planning events in cities and towns around the country, you can gather with fellow Bears no matter where you are. So, get connected, get something started, get involved, and make plans to get together with Baylor alumni. Visit us at baylor.edu/alumni.
Boozers is the wedding ring store and more. If you're ready to get engaged or already married and want to upgrade your wife's ring for a special anniversary, Boozers is the place to go. With the largest selection of premier quality diamond engagement rings and wedding rings in Central Texas. They have 7 cases with over 300 styles of rings from top designers like Natalie Kay. Choose from yellow, white, or rose gold, plus beautiful top quality loose diamonds. With an in-house jeweler, they can also custom make anything you want. Bring in a picture or drawing and let Boozers create your one-of-a-kind pendant or ring. They can even use some of your old gold and diamond jewelry to create something new. At Boozers, you'll find a great selection of quality timepieces, and Boozers is the place for expert watch maintenance and repairs too. They specialize in expert Rolex watch repair for fine jewelry, watches, custom work, and more. Go to Boozers on Valley Mills and Lake Air Drive in Waco.
Boozers, the wedding ring store and more.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run. And so that'll make it a 4-0 ball game.
Now back to the Bears Den with Drake Toll for a Baylor take on your lunch break.
Ooh, welcome back into the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. Happy Monday, everybody. Okay. Monday fun day. How about it? We got a big week tomorrow. Another big show tomorrow. Grayson Grundaver joins us. Got Sue Favors going to join us. Morgan Hooper's going to join us. It's Tuesday. I always love our Tuesdays. On top of that, Waco is the center of the world. We have learned very recently that all roads in the country lead to Waco. So there's that. Celebrity birthdays. Armstrong. Guess who had a birthday today? Okay. No. Try again.
I'm supposed to guess who had a birthday today.
Yep.
Tim Tebow.
Nope. Keenan Thompson. How old's Keenan Thompson today?
It's not Tim Tebow's birthday?
Nope. Sorry. It might
Keenan
be.
Thompson, 41.
He's 43. Very nice, though. Very nicely done. Ivan Martinez, the TikTok star. Also, he's the same age
5.
as Emilio Martinez, also the TikTok star. One can readily infer their twins.
5.
22. I'll be 22. Call Me Carson on YouTube. How old's he?
18.
Big day for 22-year-olds. He's also 22.
Really?
Bono, the rock singer. Bono.
Bono?
Yeah.
Did you just say Bono?
Bono, U2. Sorry. I'm thinking of Sonny.
Did you say Bono?
I'm thinking of Sonny. I'm thinking of Sonny.
Oh, my.
Bono, U2. You know I know old music. You can't.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually true. Yeah, 58.
He is 61.
Yeah, you get a pass on that because...
Yeah. And Sonny Bono. Yeah, I always mix the two up. It's on me, though.
That's okay.
I get that.
I forgive you.
Adebayo Kinfenwa.
Stephen from Virginia won't forgive you, though.
True.
I have no idea who that is.
Yep, 39. Nice, though. Very close. Missy Franklin.
Oh, yeah. Maybe 36?
26. Missy Franklin, the swimmer. She is upset.
Oh, she's a lot more recent of a swimmer than I thought.
Yeah, she is a recent swimmer.
I can picture her, though.
Leah Gosselin. She's a reality star.
Don't know. Oh, okay. Well, I just guessed 60.
17. Close, though.
Close.
We need to add up all the points that you're off by. That needs to be like a new game. all the years you're off by. Jim Mace, this day in sports history. Jim Mace and defends his heavyweight crown against Irish champ Joe Coburn. It lasts 1 hour and 17 minutes, and neither is struck by a punch. What?
No one got hit.
Nope. No one got hit in this boxing match.
1870.
1870. Dutch soccer club,
I knew that.
FC Blauwit, is formed in the Kinkenbert area of Amsterdam, merged with Viva de Berchendangles in 2015.
I'm going to say 1891.
God, 1902. Very close, though.
That was close.
Joe Sakic is hired by former team, the Colorado Avalanche, as executive vice president of hockey operations.
2012.
2013, actually.
Really?
Oh,
Really?
gosh, dang it.
Later, guys.
I'm breaking the rules. Loris World Sports Awards. Cultural Centra Belam, Lisbon, Portugal. Sportsman Michael Schumacher. Sportswoman Annika Sorestam. Team England Men's National Rugby Union Team. What year?
2019.
2004. I'm Drake Toll. That's Armstrong Sims. We've been joined today, and hopefully we'll be joined tomorrow. I'm getting a lot of nods in the studio by Marquise Cooley and Hayden Bumpus. When you come back tomorrow, we'll be talking about sports and stuff and doing some other stuff and all of that. So if you can dream it, you can be it. On a scale of 1 to 10, you know you want to come back, and you're gonna. I'm Drake Toll. That's still all those guys that I said they were, and this has been Up Tempo.